You have been taught that the way to win in life is to struggle, to labor, to fight against circumstance. But the truth, hidden from the noise of the world, is this: you do not win by work. You win by what you hear within. It is not action that moves mountains, it is belief. Inner hearing, not outer effort, is the real cause of change. What you whisper to yourself in the silence of your mind echoes into form. All things respond to that inner voice. So why worry? Why labor in vain when you were born with the power to speak silently and watch life obey? Close your eyes. Do you hear the sound of victory? Do you hear the applause, the answered prayer, the yes of the universe spoken in silence? Then it is done, it is yours, not by force, but by inner faith. There is no need to chase what belongs to you. What you are willing to listen to with feeling and certainty, you become. The outer world is only the reflection of what you believe inwardly. It is a mirror, not a master. So be still. Let the noise fade. In that stillness, listen, not with ears of flesh, but with ears of spirit. Hear your desires fulfilled. Feel the joy of it. Smell the success. Taste the freedom. See the completion. Let it become so real inside you that it must take form outside you. You do not need to work for it. You do not need to beg or worry. Just listen. Listen until it is louder than doubt. Listen until it drowns fear. Listen until it becomes natural. Because once it is natural in your mind, it is inevitable in your world. The one who listens from the end lives as if it's already done. And for such a one, the world rearranges itself. Doors open, people appear, circumstances bend, not through struggle, but through the silent command of inner knowing. No work, no worry, just listen and win. The world has long taught us that effort, strain, and physical toil are the only true measures of progress. But the deeper truth, hidden in plain sight, is that the most powerful work you will ever do is invisible to others. It is the labor of imagination. You are not here to force life into shape. You are here to shape it within and watch it respond. Imagination is not fantasy, it is the creative faculty that builds worlds. What you consistently imagine, what you repeatedly hear and see within yourself, becomes the substance of your lived experience. Most people dismiss imagination as child's play, something detached from reality. And yet every man-made thing around you first lived in someone's mind. The chair you sit on, the building you're in, the phone in your hand, it all began in the unseen world of thought and vision. Nothing exists in form that did not first exist in consciousness. When you begin to understand that imagination is the only true labor, everything changes. You stop wasting energy on the outer hustle and start directing it inward, where your true power lies. You begin to choose your inner conversations with care. You catch yourself when your mind wants to replay old fears or familiar worries, and instead you choose to hear something new. You learn to dwell in the assumption of the wish fulfilled. This inner work is not always easy, but it is always effective. It requires discipline. Not the kind of discipline that pushes and punishes, but the quiet determination to return again and again to the scene of your desire. You rehearse it not with desperation, but with calm certainty. You see it, you feel it, you live it internally long before the world catches up. Every time you imagine something with feeling, you are planting a seed. And just like a seed in the soil, it does not matter if others see it. What matters is that you nourish it daily. You water it with your belief. You protect it from the weeds of doubt and the winds of negativity. And in time, always in perfect time, it breaks through the surface and becomes your reality. But most people give up too soon. They imagine once or twice, then look around and say nothing has changed. That's like planting a seed and digging it up every day to check if it's growing. Imagination requires faith. The kind that knows what is planted will rise, even if nothing seems to be happening yet. You are not meant to beg life for what you want. You are meant to embody it within. That is the true labor, to hold the image, to feel the reality, to rest in the knowing that what you imagine persistently and vividly must come to pass. So do not waste your strength chasing the outside. Turn inward. Imagine boldly. Discipline your mind to dwell in beauty, in abundance, in peace. That is your job. That is your creation. The rest will follow, not by force, but by law. What you consistently hear within, you inevitably become. There is a sacred law hidden beneath all outward appearances, and it is this: you do not move toward your desire through effort alone, but through the quiet, deliberate act of assumption. Assumption is not wishful thinking. It is not hope. It is not waiting. It is the acceptance here and now that you already are, but you desire to be. It is a bridge not built by hands but walked by faith, and it spans the space between your present experience and your fulfilled state. Many are trapped in the belief that life changes only through hustle, grind, and the sweat of physical effort. But countless efforts fail because the person taking action has not changed within. They may move mountains on the outside, but if they still see themselves as small, poor, unloved, or overlooked, life reflects that image faithfully. Outer movement without inner shift is like rowing against the tide. Assumption does what force cannot. It brings the end into the present. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you bypass time and dissolve the idea of separation. You stop longing for your desire and begin living from it. And that shift from I want to I am is everything. You do not need to know how it will happen. You do not need to manipulate the world or convince others. That is not your part. Your task is singular: to assume the state of being that matches your desire as if it is already so. Feel it in your body. Hear the sounds that would accompany it. Walk in it mentally until it becomes natural. Once it is natural in you, it must express itself in your world. This is not delusion, it is divine strategy. Life does not respond to pleading, it responds to certainty. An assumption is certainty in motion. It is not a rigid insistence, it is not stubborn will, it is quiet inner knowing. You move, speak, and decide from that place, not to trick life into giving you what you want, but because it is already yours in consciousness. And consciousness is the only true reality. The moment you assume something new, you enter into a new timeline. You may not see immediate outer change, but something has shifted. People, events, and circumstances begin to rearrange. New paths open, old obstacles dissolve. It all begins invisibly, and then it appears naturally, effortlessly, like fruit falling from a tree in season. But you must persist, not in effort, but in faith. There will be temptations to fall back into old ways of seeing, old states of lack and doubt. Resist them gently, not by fighting, but by returning again and again to the feeling of fulfillment. Let it cradle you. Let it become your inner home. Every time you assume, you plant the flag of your desire in the present. You claim your place, not by force, but by being. And in time, all things align, not because you chased them, but because you became them. So do not wait, do not strain, assume, and walk the invisible bridge to everything you've ever wanted. The world you see, touch, and move through is not separate from you. It is not acting upon you. It is responding to you. not to your surface words or fleeting emotions, but to your sustained inner conversations, those quiet, constant whispers that live beneath your actions. The world is not a mystery waiting to be solved. It is an echo, repeating back what you have spoken within. This echo is precise. It does not distort or alter, it simply reflects. If you believe the world is against you, it must show you resistance. If you carry inner arguments, you will meet outer conflict. If you expect disappointment, you will find it, over and over again, not because life is cruel or unfair, but because it is perfectly obedient to the tones you strike within. You are always speaking even in silence. Your thoughts, your reactions, your quiet assumptions, these are your prayers. They go out silently and they return to you clothed as experience. Most people try to change their lives by changing their behavior. They rearrange the outside but ignore the conversation they are having with themselves. And so, the echo continues unchanged. The story repeats. To change the echo, you must change the sound. You must become aware of what you are listening to in your own mind. Are you hearing fear or faith, doubt or confidence, lack or abundance? What internal dialogue plays in the background when you are alone? That, more than anything, determines what the world must show you. This is not a metaphor, it is law. Life cannot resist your inner voice. It molds itself to your vibration, your expectation, your conviction. If you are constantly thinking things never work out for me, then the world must answer with agreement. But if you begin to feed your mind with new ideas, ideas of success, love, wholeness, the world will begin to reflect them too. This is why listening inwardly is more powerful than acting outwardly. A single inner shift, sustained with faith, can rearrange your entire reality. People will change, opportunities will arise, conditions will move, not because you forced them, but because you changed the conversation within. So learn to listen differently. Turn down the volume of the world and tune into the dialogue of your soul. Speak to yourself as the person you wish to become. Let your inner voice rise with assurance. Let it say, I am loved, I am secure, I am chosen, I am successful, not as a wish, but as a truth. And repeat that truth until it echoes back from every corner of your life. There is no delay, only reflection. The world waits for you to speak clearly. The moment your inner conversation changes, the echo begins to shift. It may start as a whisper, a chance meeting, a small sign, a gentle nudge, but it will grow. And soon the entire landscape of your life will transform, not through struggle, but through resonance. The world is not your enemy, it is your mirror. What you see is not what is real, it is what is repeated. So choose wisely what you whisper within. Speak love, peace, wealth, and joy, and let the echo return it all to you multiplied. Stillness is often misunderstood in a world addicted to movement. People equate stillness with laziness, with inaction, with weakness. But true stillness is none of these things. It is not the absence of power, it is power contained, centered, and focused. It is divine confidence. It is knowing so deeply that what you desire is already yours, you no longer feel the need to chase, push, or plead. You simply rest in the unseen certainty of fulfillment. Stillness is not idleness, it is an inner posture, a sacred position of belief. When you are still within, you are no longer reacting to appearances. You are no longer tossed around by the changing tides of the external world. You have anchored yourself in the invisible, and because of that, the visible must eventually yield. The one who is still does not need to prove or convince. They know, and that knowing held in stillness creates more results than 1,000 acts of desperation ever could. This stillness magnetizes, it draws to you what is already aligned with the state you have assumed. And that is the secret. Stillness only works when it is combined with assumption. To be still without assuming is to wait in uncertainty. But to be still and assume is to dwell in the end. It is to sit at the table of your fulfilled desire before the food ever arrives. You do not wonder if it's coming, you know it is already prepared. Stillness allows the inner vision to grow roots. When you are still, you no longer dig up the seed of your imagination to see if it's sprouting. You plant it and you rest. You trust the process you cannot see. And in that trust, in that non-reactive calm, you become magnetic. People, resources, and opportunities begin to move, not because you pushed, but because you aligned. Life bends toward the one who does not chase it. When you are still, you are no longer at war with reality. You have surrendered, not in defeat, but in divine recognition. You know that what is yours cannot pass you. You know that what you imagine with feeling and hold in quiet faith must become form. There is no longer any need to run after things, no need to explain yourself, no need to prove your worth. Stillness speaks louder than noise. And from this place of calm, inspired action may arise. But it is no longer driven by fear or urgency, it is born of alignment. It flows, it feels natural. There is no struggle in it. And even if you do nothing outwardly for a time, that is also enough. Because stillness itself is working. It is rearranging the world behind the scenes. It is drawing the perfect pieces together. So rest, not in doubt, but in power. Be still, not to avoid life, but to command it silently. And assume not to beg life to change, but to live now in the joy of what is already done. Stillness is not weakness, it is strength at rest. It is the unwavering confidence that everything you have imagined is already making its way to you, quietly, inevitably, because you dared to be still and know. We have been taught to believe that only through constant effort, struggle, and relentless hustle can we achieve anything worthwhile. But this belief is born from fear, not truth. Fear that if we stop, we will fall behind. Fear that if we rest, we will lose. Yet in truth, the greatest power does not lie in doing more, but in doing less with greater faith. The more you trust, the more you receive. The more you let go, the more life flows. Doing less is not about laziness. It is not about apathy or avoidance. It is about alignment. It is about realizing that your outer actions are only as effective as the state you take them from. A mind that is cluttered, frantic, and fearful can take 1,000 steps and still end up lost. But a mind that is calm, trusting, and centered can take one step, and that step opens doors that effort could never reach. To do less is to understand that your real work is inner. It is to observe your thoughts, guide your imagination, and shape your assumptions. It is to stop trying to force life and begin allowing life. The one who trusts, who listens inwardly with clarity and conviction, receives more than the one who toils without faith. You were never meant to beg for your blessings. You are meant to align with them. This is why the mind that trusts, that believes, and that listens with intention becomes magnetic. It does not chase outcomes, it attracts them. It does not need to convince others or manipulate conditions. It simply knows. And in that knowing, all things come, not because you worked harder, but because you finally stopped trying to control what was never yours to control. When you do less in the world, but more in your imagination, more in your feeling, more in your quiet surrender, you begin to live from the end. You become the person who already has what they desire. And from that state, the next action is clear, easy, inspired. It is not effortful, it is natural. It flows from identity, not from insecurity. Many will tell you to grind, to hustle, to sacrifice peace for progress. But look closely at those who do. They may achieve temporarily, but their gains are often fragile, and their joy is fleeting. Why? Because what they gain through struggle must be maintained through struggle. But what is received through trust, through stillness, through inner knowing, is sustained by the same effortless flow that brought it forth. Let go of the need to prove your worth. You are already worthy. Let go of the urge to chase. What you seek is already within you. Your job is not to push harder. It is to surrender deeper, to lean into the silence, to speak only what you wish to see, to feel only what affirms your truth, and to rest not in idleness, but in powerful belief. The life you want is not far. It is only a shift away, not a shift in effort, but a shift in attention. Stop doing so much. Start listening more. Start imagining more. Start trusting more. That is the path. That is the secret. Do less and you will receive more than you ever thought possible. Faith is not a desperate plea shouted into the void, nor is it a trembling hope that maybe, just maybe, things will work out. True faith is quiet, yet immovable. It is the ability to hear the end result within yourself with such clarity, such certainty, that no external condition, no delay, no opposition can shake it. Faith is not noise, it is not panic, it is not interference, it is a clear inner hearing of what already is. To live by faith is to hear beyond appearances. You may look around and see lack, struggle, separation. But faith listens deeper. Faith hears abundance, harmony, fulfillment. It tunes into the station of the end, where all is already done, and refuses to be distracted by static. Most people are tuned into the chaos of the world, reacting constantly to what they see. But faith listens to the unseen. It locks in on the inner conclusion and lets that sound guide every thought, word, and step. This inner hearing is not passive. It requires focus. It requires discipline. You must learn to turn down the volume of fear, of doubt, of past experiences. You must stop asking how and start affirming it is. Because the moment you allow interference, when you entertain thoughts of delay, difficulty, or defeat, you begin to lose the sound. And once the sound is lost, the path becomes unclear. Faith is not about repeating affirmations until you are exhausted. It is not about visualizing to exhaustion. It is about listening, really listening, to what you would hear if your desire were fulfilled. That conversation you would have, that gratitude you would feel, that peace you would live in when you hear it clearly in your inner ear and hold it with quiet conviction. The outer world must bend to reflect it. You are not trying to convince life to give you something. You are embodying the end and letting life catch up. Faith does not waver because of delay. It does not ask, why isn't it here yet? It knows it already is, and so it walks as if the promise has been kept. Because inwardly, it has. Faith walks forward, while the world still looks the same, because it knows the unseen reality is the only truth that matters. There is no need to force anything when you walk by faith. You do not have to manipulate others, chase signs, or struggle for validation. Your job is to maintain the sound of the fulfilled desire within. When interference comes, and it will, you return to that sound. You quiet your mind. You go back to the state. You hear it again clearly. The celebration, the answer, the moment of completion. That is your compass. This is the most powerful way to live, not by reaction, but by inner direction. The world does not lead you, your faith does, and your faith is determined by what you allow yourself to hear without interference. So choose your station. Tune into the life you want, the outcome you know is yours, and listen. Let that inner sound be louder than the noise of the world. Then move not with haste but with quiet certainty. For once you hear the end clearly, the rest must follow. When you stop striving and start listening, you step into the mystery where all things are possible. No more forcing, no more doubting, just the quiet power of assumption, the sacred stillness of inner knowing, and the gentle alignment with the sound of your fulfilled desire. You do not need to hustle to prove your worth or chase life to be worthy of its gifts. The moment you dare to believe, truly believe, what you imagine is already yours. Life bends to reflect that truth. This is not magic, it is law. The world is responding to your inner world. What you hear within becomes what you see without. So let go. Rest in your divine confidence. Do less, but do it from the state of already having. Be still, not out of fear, but out of knowing. Assume, not with strain, but with certainty. And most of all, listen, because the answer, the blessing, the life you want is already speaking within you. No work, no worry, just listen and win.
There comes a moment when the wisest action is not to act at all. Step back, let your presence become a memory, let your voice fade into silence. This isn't retreat, it's an assertion of your power. When you step back, you declare your independence from needing others to validate your worth. You no longer chase. You allow the tides to shift, for they will always. Is often misunderstood. Many think it implies a cold or disinterested withdrawal from life and relationships. But in truth, detachment is a profound act of inner freedom. To detach is to release one's tight grip on external outcomes, to let go of the endless tug of war that keeps our minds bound to expectations. It is not apathy. Rather, it is an empowered stance that roots itself in an understanding that everything we seek already exists within us. By no longer clinging to the approval, validation, or behavior of others, we free ourselves to live authentically, embracing an inner peace that does not rise or fall based on external circumstances. When you're truly detached, you realize that people and situations are not the source of your happiness or peace. These qualities arise from within. Attachment, however, leads to suffering because it ties your happiness to forces beyond your control. The nature of life is change. Relationships evolve. People's opinions shift and events unfold unpredictably. If your peace is dependent on any of these factors, it becomes fragile, always at risk of disruption. Detachment, therefore, is a way of aligning with the truth of life's impermanence. It allows you to embrace life fully while not being devastated by the natural ebb and flow of experiences. Detachment does not mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you stop loving or engaging with others deeply. Instead, it means you don't cling to them. You see them as individuals on their own paths, just as you are on yours. You can still love, still connect, and still invest yourself. But there's a fundamental difference. You are no longer possessed by a need for their acceptance, agreement, or validation. This stance enables you to love more freely, with less fear, as there's no longer a desperation to make things turn out a certain way. Your love becomes unconditional because it's rooted in your own inner security, not in a need to control. Imagine the peace that comes when you stop trying to force things to go your way. Detachment is liberation from this need. It removes the weight of expectations and allows you to accept what is, rather than constantly trying to reshape life into what you believe it should be. This shift in perspective creates a deeper trust in the process, in the unseen order guiding life. You begin to see that when you detach, you invite the natural flow of life to bring what is meant for you, often in ways you never could have orchestrated on your own. You open yourself to possibilities that are richer and more fulfilling than the ones your mind had envisioned, simply by stepping out of the way and letting life unfold. Detachment also allows you to respond rather than react. When you're attached to a specific outcome, it's easy to feel frustrated or anxious when things don't go as planned. You might react with anger, fear, or disappointment, which often leads to actions that only create further complications. But when you're detached, you can observe situations with a clear mind, responding calmly and wisely. You see events as neutral, as opportunities for growth, rather than as personal affronts. This clarity brings resilience, as you are no longer at the mercy of every twist and turn. In relationships, detachment can be transformative. Many of us enter relationships with unconscious expectations, assuming others will behave in ways that fulfill our own needs. When they don't, we feel hurt or betrayed, and the relationship suffers. Detachment frees you from this cycle. It lets you see the other person as they are, without projecting your desires onto them. You accept them fully, allowing for genuine connection rather than a relationship based on fulfilling conditions. Ironically, this often brings people closer, as they sense the freedom in being accepted without conditions or demands. They feel drawn to your calm and balanced energy. True detachment also means that you remain grounded in your own value. When you are attached to outcomes, you subconsciously seek validation from the external world, measuring your worth by how others perceive you or by your achievements. Detachment breaks this pattern. You come to understand that your worth is inherent, unchanging, and independent of any external validation. This self-assurance radiates outward, making you more confident and magnetic to others, who are naturally drawn to someone who exudes inner contentment and peace. In this way, detachment enhances your life by fostering relationships and opportunities that are aligned with your authentic self. There is a paradox in detachment. The more you release, the more life seems to come to you with ease. When you are no longer bound by the need for specific outcomes, you create space for new, unexpected blessings to flow into your life. You become receptive, open to the guidance and abundance of life, which can only reach you when you're not constantly trying to control its course. Detachment signals to the universe that you trust in its timing and wisdom. This trust, this surrender, draws to you the very things you once sought so fervently, now without the strain or struggle. Detachment is a journey, one that asks you to be patient with yourself. It's natural to feel attached, to care deeply, and to have desires. But the essence of detachment is not in denying these desires. It's in not letting them control you. It's about being fully alive, fully engaged, and fully free from dependency on any single outcome. In this state, you are no longer waiting for circumstances to align before you feel fulfilled. You are complete, whole, and at peace, regardless of what unfolds around you. The practice of detachment, then, is an art of living lightly yet deeply, of loving without possessing, of trusting without forcing. It is a reminder that everything in life flows and returns in cycles, and that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Embrace detachment and find that in letting go, you have gained the ultimate power. The power to be content no matter what. Is often mistaken for weakness or passivity, but it is, in fact, a profound source of strength. Silence has the ability to communicate in ways that words often cannot. When we choose silence over reaction, we make a statement, one that speaks volumes about our inner strength, self-control, and clarity. To be silent in situations that provoke, to refrain from defending oneself unnecessarily, or to simply observe rather than interject, is a sign of a deep, unshakable inner power. This choice isn't about shrinking back. It's about standing firm, fully present, without needing to seek validation or engage in unnecessary explanations. In a world full of noise, silence is a rare and invaluable power. Allows one to observe more clearly. When we silence our voice, we heighten our awareness, sharpening our ability to listen and see things as they truly are. This silence enables us to discern beyond the surface, allowing us to understand the unspoken, the subtle cues and dynamics at play in any situation. Most people are quick to speak, quick to react, eager to make their opinions known. Yet, in the act of stepping back and observing without immediate reaction, we gather insights and wisdom that often escape those who rush to fill the silence. This clarity gives us a profound advantage, enabling us to respond rather than react with greater precision and understanding. Also protects us. When we stay silent, particularly in tense or emotional situations, we conserve our energy, choosing not to waste it on conflicts or arguments that would drain us without any real benefit. Not every situation requires our involvement. Not every provocation deserves a response. Silence allows us to maintain our inner peace and balance. Words can entangle us, create misunderstandings, and commit us to positions that may not truly reflect our beliefs. Silence, however, is a sanctuary where we hold on to our power, refusing to be dragged into battles that serve no purpose. It is a quiet defiance that refuses to play by the usual rules of confrontation, and in doing so, it becomes a shield. We gain control over our emotions. In a heated moment, speaking out of anger or frustration can lead to regret. Words spoken in haste can wound, complicate, or escalate a situation beyond what was intended. Silence gives us the gift of time to think, to process, to understand our feelings before deciding whether to speak or not. This self-control strengthens us because it allows us to master our impulses, cultivating a sense of calm that others will notice and respect. Silence does not indicate a lack of feelings. Rather, it reflects the choice to manage those feelings with wisdom, restraint, and patience. Can often make us more influential. People are naturally drawn to those who speak less and listen more. When we do speak, our words carry weight because we are not constantly filling the air with them. In our silence, we create a space that others feel compelled to fill. When we finally choose to speak, people listen more attentively, sensing that what we say is meaningful and carefully considered. Silence, therefore, becomes a powerful tool in commanding respect and attention. Without the need to demand it, our restraint gives our words greater impact because they are rare, intentional, and thoughtful. Silence enables us to detach from the need for external validation. In our society, where people are often seeking approval or acknowledgement from others, silence represents a radical self-assurance. When we refrain from speaking, we show that we don't need to justify ourselves, explain every choice, or respond to every critique. This detachment reveals an inner confidence, a sense of self that isn't swayed by others' opinions or judgments. By staying silent, we affirm our own sense of worth without needing to prove it to anyone else. This form of silent confidence can be unsettling to those who expect reactions or explanations, as it disrupts the usual pattern of interaction. In difficult situations, silence can be a form of strength that demonstrates resilience and poise. When faced with criticism, misunderstanding, or even hostility, choosing silence shows that we are not easily shaken. It is a quiet reminder that we are grounded in our own truth, that our peace does not depend on others' perceptions or reactions. Silence, though often misinterpreted, is a powerful response to challenges. It reflects a maturity and stability that is unbothered by trivial matters or shallow judgments. By not responding, we show that we refuse to let external forces disrupt our inner stability. Silence allows us to connect with ourselves on a deeper level. In our own quiet company, we can reflect, meditate, and access the deeper wisdom within. Silence opens the door to self-discovery, helping us to understand our true thoughts, feelings, and desires. It gives us space to reconnect with our intuition and inner guidance, which is often drowned out by the constant noise of daily life. Through silence, we find clarity as well as the courage to be authentic. It is in the quiet moments that we come to know ourselves more deeply, realizing that we are enough as we are without the need to prove or explain. Then is not an absence but a powerful presence. It is the stillness that allows us to cultivate inner strength, clarity, and self-control. In a world where noise is constant and opinions are loud, Silence is a rare and formidable gift. It is a strength that speaks without words, commanding respect, inviting peace, and fostering connection with ourselves and others. Silence is a conscious choice to hold our power, knowing that true strength often lies not in what we say, but in what we choose not to say. In silence we find resilience, wisdom, and an unbreakable connection to the strength within. Trusting the law of attraction is about recognizing the profound connection between our inner thoughts and the experiences we draw into our lives. It's based on the belief that our minds are like magnets, constantly emitting energy that shapes our reality. By trusting this law, we understand that our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are powerful forces that determine what we attract, whether consciously or unconsciously. This trust involves a commitment to aligning our inner state with what we desire rather than what we fear or doubt. When we learn to focus on our desires with clarity, we enter a flow where the universe mirrors back our intentions, manifesting them in ways we often cannot anticipate. At the core of trusting the law of attraction is the realization that we live in a vibrational universe. Everything from our physical bodies to our thoughts and emotions has a vibrational frequency. Like frequencies attract, therefore, whatever frequency we emit, consciously or unconsciously, determines what we draw into our lives. When we focus on love, abundance, or success, we emit high frequencies that align with positive experiences. Conversely, when we dwell on worry, scarcity, or resentment, we attract circumstances that reflect those lower vibrations. Trusting the law means becoming aware of the vibrational quality of our thoughts and intentionally choosing ones that are in harmony with our desired reality. The law of attraction also means releasing the need for immediate results. Many people struggle with this as they expect quick outcomes and become discouraged when things don't instantly manifest. But the law of attraction is not a transaction or a tool for instant gratification. Trusting it requires patience and understanding that things unfold in their own time, and often in ways that surpass our expectations. When we become impatient, we disrupt the flow of manifestation by introducing doubt and frustration. Trust means knowing that our desires are already in motion, that the universe is aligning circumstances in ways we may not see, and that our role is to stay in a state of belief and openness, allowing things to unfold. One of the most powerful aspects of trusting the law of attraction is realizing that everything we need to manifest our desires is already within us. Often, people believe they need external validation or certain resources to make their dreams a reality, but true manifestation starts from within. By trusting that we already possess the qualities, insights, and capabilities required, we activate a sense of worthiness. This inner certainty creates a magnetic pull that draws to us the resources, people, and opportunities needed to realize our intentions. Trusting the law involves embodying our desires, acting as if what we seek is already ours, knowing that our internal state creates the external experience. Trust also requires releasing attachment to specific outcomes. Often we limit ourselves by envisioning rigid outcomes and specific paths. By doing so, we restrict the universe's potential to deliver what is truly best for us. Trusting the law of attraction means letting go of the how and embracing the possibility that what we receive might come in ways we hadn't anticipated. This openness creates space for the universe to work, bringing about results that align with our highest good, often in ways that exceed our expectations. When we let go of our need to control, we open the door for new possibilities to enter our lives. Furthermore, trusting the law of attraction means cultivating a sense of gratitude even before we see results. Gratitude is one of the most powerful vibrations and a direct way to align with what we want. When we express genuine gratitude for what we have and what we desire as though it's already here, we raise our vibrational frequency. This gratitude reinforces our trust as it communicates to the universe that we already believe in the abundance around us. Through this feeling of thankfulness, we create a state of receptivity, signaling that we are ready to welcome our desires without resistance or doubt. Trusting the law of attraction also requires awareness of our self-talk. Many people unknowingly sabotage their intentions by engaging in negative self-talk. believing that they are not deserving, capable, or good enough. These limiting beliefs create blockages, as they emit a frequency of lack and inadequacy. Trust means consciously choosing empowering thoughts, even when the external reality has yet to align with them. It's about affirming our worth and maintaining faith in our vision, regardless of temporary setbacks or challenges. By nurturing positive self-talk, we align ourselves with the energy of our desires, allowing the universe to respond accordingly. Another essential aspect of trusting the law of attraction is surrounding ourselves with supportive energies. The people and environments we engage with can greatly influence our mental and emotional states. Trusting this law means choosing influences that uplift and encourage us, those that affirm our worth and potential. Negative or skeptical energies can often diminish our confidence, causing us to waver in our belief. Trusting the law of attraction isn't just about our internal thoughts, but also about creating a space that reflects positivity and alignment. By curating our environment, we reinforce our intention, making it easier to maintain trust and focus on what we desire. Trusting the law of attraction means taking inspired action. Manifestation is not merely about visualizing and waiting passively, it's about listening to the subtle nudges that guide us towards our goals. When we trust, we become attuned to these intuitive prompts, acting on them without hesitation. This action is not forced or frantic, but flows naturally from a place of confidence and clarity. Trusting the law of attraction means understanding that we are co-creators in the process, that our role is to take aligned steps toward our vision, knowing that every action, no matter how small, contributes to its manifestation. Trusting the law of attraction is about aligning with the energy of our desires, believing in their reality before they physically manifest, and cultivating a mindset that remains steadfast regardless of external conditions. It's a journey of self-discovery, as it asks us to recognize our worthiness and power to shape our lives. This trust is an ongoing practice, one that deepens as we see our desires unfold. By embracing this trust, we not only manifest our dreams, but transform ourselves, creating a life that reflects the abundance, love, and joy that were within us all along. The urge to control is something nearly all of us experience. We want to shape our environment, influence people around us, and secure outcomes that align with our desires. But beneath this urge lies a deeper struggle, the fear of uncertainty and vulnerability. We try to control because it gives us a sense of security, but in reality, it often leads to frustration, disappointment, and strained relationships. Letting go of this urge isn't about giving up on goals or dreams, it's about cultivating trust in ourselves, in others, and in life itself. Resisting the urge to control brings a profound sense of freedom and inner peace, allowing life to unfold in ways that often surpass our expectations. When we attempt to control every detail, we create a narrow, restricted path for ourselves. Control is inherently limited by our own perspectives, assumptions, and biases. We think we know what's best, but we can't possibly predict all the variables or potential outcomes. By trying to force things to go our way, we close ourselves off to other possibilities that could bring us growth, joy, or unexpected insights. Often life has plans that extend beyond what we can see or imagine. Resisting the urge to control means opening ourselves to these unknown possibilities, embracing a mindset of curiosity instead of one bound by rigid expectations. This desire for control also impacts our relationships. When we try to control others, their behaviors, decisions, or even emotions, we unknowingly create barriers. True connection with others can only thrive in an environment of respect and freedom. Trying to control someone else implies a lack of trust, sending the message that we don't believe in their ability to make their own choices. This undermines relationships, creating tension and resentment. By letting go of the need to control, we foster trust, allowing relationships to evolve naturally. When we accept people as they are rather than trying to mold them to fit our ideals, we open the door to deeper, more meaningful connections. The urge to control also empowers us to accept things as they are. Acceptance does not mean resignation, it means seeing situations clearly without imposing our own expectations onto them. When we accept reality as it is, we allow ourselves to work with it instead of against it. This practice fosters resilience, helping us to respond to challenges in constructive ways. Rather than feeling defeated by circumstances beyond our control, we learn to adapt and grow. Acceptance gives us the clarity to understand what can and cannot be changed, empowering us to invest our energy where it truly matters instead of exhausting ourselves trying to control the uncontrollable. The act of releasing control also deepens our connection with ourselves. Often our desire to control stems from an inner insecurity or fear. We believe that if we can just control certain aspects of our lives, we will feel safer or more fulfilled. But true security and fulfillment cannot be created by manipulating external factors, they are cultivated within. By turning inward, we can address the root of our need to control, discovering the fears and insecurities that drive us. This self-awareness allows us to heal and grow, replacing the need for control with a sense of inner peace and trust in our own resilience. Letting go of control encourages us to live in the present moment. When we try to control the future, we often miss out on the beauty and opportunities that exist here and now. The future is never certain, and when we are constantly trying to shape it, we disconnect from the present. By releasing control, we learn to appreciate what is in front of us, experiencing life fully instead of living in a state of constant anticipation or anxiety. This presence brings a greater sense of contentment and joy, allowing us to engage with life as it unfolds rather than obsessing over what might or might not happen. The journey of releasing control also requires trust in ourselves, in others, and in the natural flow of life. Trusting ourselves means believing that we have the strength and wisdom to navigate whatever comes our way, even when things don't go according to plan. Trusting others means recognizing that they are capable of making their own choices, learning from their own experiences, and growing in their own ways. Trusting life means understanding that we don't always have to have all the answers, that sometimes the best outcomes come from unexpected twists and turns. This trust frees us from the constant tension of trying to manage everything, allowing us to move through life with greater ease and openness. The urge to control doesn't mean becoming passive or indifferent. It means letting go of forced effort and learning to act from a place of intention rather than fear. When we release control, we can still set goals, make plans, and pursue our dreams. But instead of clinging tightly to specific outcomes, we learn to embrace flexibility, adapting to changes along the way. This approach allows us to stay aligned with our values and intentions without becoming rigid or overly fixated. We become like a tree that bends with the wind rather than snapping under pressure, resilient and adaptable. Releasing control also allows us to experience a profound sense of freedom. When we try to control every aspect of our lives, we place limitations on ourselves, creating unnecessary stress and pressure. By letting go, we free ourselves from the weight of trying to manage every outcome, allowing space for spontaneity, joy, and creativity. Life becomes a journey of discovery rather than a series of tasks to be meticulously managed. This freedom is liberating, as it allows us to experience life in all its richness without the constant strain of trying to direct every detail. In letting go of control, we find ourselves able to flow with life instead of against it. Life is inherently unpredictable. No amount of planning or control can change that. When we stop fighting this truth, we gain a sense of harmony with the world around us. We learn to trust that challenges are not obstacles, but opportunities, that setbacks are not failures, but lessons. This mindset shift brings a deeper sense of peace, as we realize that we don't have to control life to find meaning or happiness. Instead, we can find fulfillment in embracing each moment as it comes, knowing that life often has a wisdom that surpasses our own. Resisting the urge to control allows us to cultivate a life of greater balance, freedom, and fulfillment. It opens our hearts to the present moment, deepens our connections with others, and fosters a sense of trust and resilience within ourselves. By letting go of the need to manage every outcome, we create space for growth, joy, and discovery. In this surrender, we find a strength that is rooted not in control, but in the ability to embrace life as it is, unpredictable, ever-changing, and filled with endless possibilities. There are times when stepping back and letting others feel our absence can be a powerful act. It's a way of establishing boundaries, of showing respect for ourselves, and of helping others appreciate our presence. Often people take us for granted, not because they are unkind, but because they become used to our constant availability. By stepping away, we remind them and ourselves of our value. Letting others feel our absence isn't about playing games or being vindictive, it's about reasserting a sense of balance, allowing others to see what we contribute, and creating space for reflection. Absence has a way of shining a light on things we often overlook. When we're constantly present, our actions, words, and support can fade into the background, becoming expected rather than appreciated. But the moment we remove ourselves, the void we leave can speak volumes. People start to notice what's missing, realizing how our contributions, companionship, or support added to their lives. It's a subtle yet powerful reminder that relationships are not one-sided, that reciprocity and acknowledgement are essential for meaningful connections. By allowing others to experience life without our consistent presence, we give them the opportunity to see the true weight and impact of what we bring. Creating space through absence also provides us with clarity. When we're constantly engaged, it's easy to lose sight of whether our actions are truly valued or merely taken for granted. Absence allows us to step back and observe how people respond to our distance. Do they reach out, show concern, or make an effort to reconnect? Or do they carry on as if nothing's changed? The way others respond can reveal a lot about the dynamics of the relationship, helping us discern who genuinely values our presence and who may only be relying on us out of convenience. This clarity can empower us to make better choices about where to invest our time and energy. Stepping back can also encourage personal growth, both for ourselves and for others. When we're constantly available to offer support, advice, or companionship, we sometimes inadvertently prevent others from learning to navigate challenges on their own. So, by creating distance, we allow people to rely on themselves, to confront situations without our immediate intervention, and to develop their own resilience. For us, stepping back offers a chance to focus on our own growth. We can invest in our own passions, nurture our mental and emotional well-being, and rediscover who we are outside of our relationships. Absence in this way becomes an act of self-love and self-respect, reminding us that we are whole and complete on our own. Absence is a way of setting boundaries, a reminder that our time, energy, and presence are not to be taken for granted. Boundaries are essential for healthy relationships. They prevent burnout and resentment by ensuring that our needs are acknowledged alongside others. When we are constantly available, we sometimes forget to care for ourselves. By stepping back, we're establishing a boundary that says, I am here for you, but I also value myself. This boundary doesn't mean we care any less, it simply means we recognize our own worth and expect others to do the same. Letting others feel our absence can also strengthen relationships by bringing a renewed sense of appreciation. Absence creates space for reflection both for us and for those we step away from. When we are no longer present, those close to us have a chance to realize what we mean to them. They may come to appreciate the small acts of kindness, the support, and the presence they once took for granted. And when we eventually reconnect, there is often a deeper level of appreciation, a renewed commitment to valuing each other. The time apart allows both sides to see the relationship with fresh eyes, fostering a deeper and more balanced connection. It's also important to understand that letting others feel our absence is not about manipulation. It's about honoring ourselves and respecting the natural rhythms of relationships. Sometimes we may feel compelled to give endlessly, to always be available, especially for those we care about. But relationships are healthiest when they are built on mutual respect and understanding, not dependency or obligation. By stepping back, we're giving others the chance to meet us halfway, to show us that they're willing to invest in the relationship as much as we are. In this way, absence becomes a test of reciprocity, encouraging balance rather than dependence. Absence also reminds us that we do not need to be constantly present to make a difference. There is strength in silence, power in distance. By stepping back, we allow our actions to speak for themselves. We learn that we don't need to always be there to be valued. Our presence is felt even in our absence. People who genuinely care will make an effort to reach out, to connect, to show that they miss us. Those who don't may simply fade away, revealing that their connection to us was never truly meaningful. This is not something to fear but to embrace, as it frees us to focus on relationships that are built on mutual respect and appreciation. Letting others feel our absence helps us cultivate independence. It reminds us that we are not defined by our roles in others' lives. Our worth isn't tied solely to how we support others, how much we give, or how often we're present. We are individuals with our own dreams, passions, and identities. When we allow ourselves to step away, we give ourselves the chance to nurture these parts of ourselves, to rediscover our own sense of purpose outside of our relationships. This independence strengthens us, making us more grounded and resilient, less susceptible to the shifting dynamics of others' needs and expectations. Letting others feel our absence is about balancing our love for others with our love for ourselves. It's about understanding that we don't need to be constantly present to be valued, that our presence should be appreciated, not expected or taken for granted. When we resist the urge to overgive or constantly be there, we affirm our own worth, inviting others to appreciate us in a deeper way. This act of stepping back allows us to maintain healthy, fulfilling relationships built on mutual respect, genuine care, and a shared understanding of each other's value. In this space, relationships can thrive, and we can truly appreciate the beauty of connection without losing ourselves in it. There comes a time in life when you recognize the subtle shifts in power dynamics around you. Power is not always about authority, titles, or control. It's often a quiet energy exchange that can determine the quality of our relationships, our confidence, and ultimately our lives. Watching the shift in power doesn't require grand gestures or confrontations. Instead, it involves self-awareness, restraint, and the ability to understand and leverage the unspoken influence that resides within each of us. As we navigate relationships and social settings, observing these shifts allows us to see where our energy flows, how it impacts others, and how we can use this understanding to elevate ourselves without engaging in direct conflict. Power dynamics are at play in all relationships, personal, professional, and social. Often we hand over our power unconsciously, thinking that by pleasing others or fulfilling their expectations, we'll be accepted or valued. But true power never stems from seeking validation outside ourselves. Real power lies in the ability to remain grounded and unaffected by the opinions or actions of others. When you understand this, you'll notice a shift. People start responding differently when you no longer bend to their will or seek their approval. They realize that you are not easily influenced, that you have a solid core, and that you respect yourself enough to set boundaries. Watching the shift in power begins with self-mastery. When you know who you are, your worth isn't contingent on someone else's acknowledgement or rejection. You stand firm in your values, recognizing that power starts from within. This doesn't mean you disregard others or dismiss collaboration. It simply means you're anchored in your identity, and your actions reflect your integrity, not someone else's expectations. As a result, people around you begin to sense a change. They may initially resist or challenge it, but eventually they start to respect the boundaries you've set. The energy shifts, and you find yourself in a position where your presence commands respect without the need for aggression or assertion. One of the most significant indicators of a shift in power is silence. Silence can be one of the most powerful tools in any situation. When you're not rushing to fill gaps in conversation, when you don't react impulsively, or when you don't feel the need to defend every action, you hold a quiet strength. People sense this, and they often become more reflective in your presence. They may even become uncomfortable, because silence, when used effectively, has a way of revealing truths that words can often hide. By maintaining silence, you allow others to see the weight of their own actions and words. You demonstrate that you're not swayed by petty conflicts or the need for validation. Non-reactivity is another important component of observing power shifts. When someone is used to getting a specific reaction from you, whether it's anger, appeasement, or submission, they're maintaining a certain level of control over you. By choosing not to react, by pausing and observing instead, you alter the dynamic. Suddenly, they're left to deal with their own emotions and motives without your participation. This withdrawal of energy is powerful. It shows that you're in control of your responses, that you're not a puppet to others' provocations or manipulations. The shift here is subtle but impactful. They begin to understand that you can't be easily swayed or influenced, and the balance of power starts to tip in your favor. To truly embrace this shift in power, you must also practice detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care, it means you're not emotionally invested in trying to control outcomes or people. Detachment is freedom. When you're not tied to the need to manage every situation or dictate every interaction, you hold an elevated form of power. Others will recognize that you're not looking to control or manipulate, and this often inspires a deeper level of respect. People sense when you're genuinely free from attachment, and they realize that you're not dependent on their approval or validation. This independence is magnetic, and it naturally shifts the balance of power in your direction. Self-assurance is another component of this shift. When you project confidence, not arrogance, but genuine self-assurance, people are drawn to it. They feel the steadiness of your presence, and in turn, they may begin to question their own approach. People who were once dominant or controlling may find themselves unsure of how to interact with you. They may soften, recognizing that their usual tactics have little effect. In relationships, when you are secure in yourself, the other person can no longer leverage your insecurities or weaknesses. This awareness shifts power in subtle but profound ways, allowing you to remain true to yourself without bending under pressure. A vital part of watching the shift in power is also observing how others treat you when you respect yourself. People treat us in alignment with the energy we project. When you respect yourself, when you value your time and your well-being, others will naturally start to follow suit. This isn't about demanding respect, it's about embodying it so fully that it becomes part of the way people perceive you. People who previously took you for granted may become more considerate, realizing that you are no longer willing to overextend yourself to accommodate their needs. This shift creates healthier, more balanced relationships, as people recognize the limits of your generosity and presence. Setting boundaries is also fundamental in this process. Boundaries are not walls but guidelines for how we want to be treated. When you set clear boundaries and consistently uphold them, people understand that there are limits to how far they can go. This changes the power dynamics because boundaries are a form of self-respect and self-protection. People who honor these boundaries are those who respect you, while those who challenge them often reveal their true intentions. The shift in power here is decisive. You are no longer at the mercy of others' demands or expectations, and you reclaim your right to define the terms of your interactions. A shift in power comes from authenticity. Authenticity means you are who you say you are. There's no pretense or facade. When you're authentic, you're unshakable. You're not acting or pretending to be something you're not, and this makes you resilient. Authenticity is a form of quiet strength that speaks for itself. People respect those who are unapologetically themselves because they sense that authenticity is rare. As you embrace your truth, others begin to see the real you, and they're less likely to try to control or manipulate. They see that you're not playing games, that you don't wear masks, and this authenticity establishes a form of power that's grounded, unwavering, and deeply respected. Watching the shift in power is an internal journey of growth, strength, and self-discovery. It requires patience and consistency, but it leads to a profound understanding of yourself and your relationships. As you stand firm in your truth, embrace silence, practice non-reactivity, and maintain healthy boundaries, you create a presence that commands respect. This shift is subtle yet transformative, allowing you to navigate life with dignity and confidence, free from the need to control or be controlled. Through this journey, you learn that true power lies in knowing who you are, respecting yourself, and allowing others to witness that quiet strength. In a world that often encourages us to chase, to persuade, and to constantly prove ourselves, there is a profound strength in stepping back and allowing others to come to us of their own will. This approach requires trust, patience, and self-assurance, but its rewards are deep and lasting. Letting people come to us, whether in relationships, friendships, or professional endeavors, means respecting both our own value and the freedom of others. It's a way of fostering genuine connections, built on mutual appreciation rather than dependency or obligation. When we choose this path, we're making a statement about our self-worth, acknowledging that we don't need to control or pursue in order to receive what's meant for us. At the heart of this approach is the understanding that authentic connections cannot be forced. When we try to control others or demand their attention, we may get a temporary response, but we rarely foster genuine, lasting relationships. People are naturally drawn to those who know their own worth and who are content within themselves. By letting others come to us on their terms, we're inviting connections that are rooted in sincerity, where people approach us because they genuinely want to, not because they feel pressured or obligated. This leads to relationships that are richer, more fulfilling, and more enduring. Trust is essential in this process. Trusting that what's meant for us will come in its own time requires a deep sense of faith, both in ourselves and in the flow of life. We must trust that we are worthy of good things and that we don't need to prove our value constantly. This trust allows us to release the need for control, to stop chasing, and to simply be. When we operate from this place of trust, we radiate a calm confidence that others find attractive and magnetic. People sense when we are at ease, and they are more likely to be drawn to us when they feel that we are complete within ourselves. Patience is equally important. Letting others come to us means accepting that we may not get what we want immediately or in the way we envisioned. Patience teaches us to embrace the natural rhythm of things rather than trying to rush or force outcomes. When we allow others the time and space to make their own choices, we're giving them the freedom to come forward because they genuinely desire our presence. This space for choice is invaluable. It's the foundation of respect, both for ourselves and for the other person. True connection isn't about instant gratification, it's about building something meaningful that stands the test of time. Stepping back also cultivates self-assurance. When we're not constantly seeking approval or chasing after others, we're showing that we know our own worth. This confidence speaks louder than words. People are naturally drawn to those who are comfortable in their own skin, who don't feel the need to impress or conform. By embracing this self-assurance, we create an inner stability that is attractive to others. They see that we're not needy, that we don't require their validation to feel complete, and this independence often encourages them to move toward us with genuine interest. Another key aspect of letting others come to us is the cultivation of inner peace. When we're not constantly looking outward, seeking validation, or trying to make things happen, we free up energy to focus on our own growth and fulfillment. This shift inward creates a sense of peace that others can feel when they're around us. People are naturally drawn to those who emanate calm and serenity. When we're at peace within ourselves, we're not projecting our needs or insecurities onto others, and this creates an environment where people feel comfortable approaching us, knowing they're not being manipulated or controlled. Allowing others to come to us of their own will also mean embracing detachment. Detachment doesn't mean indifference, rather, it's the freedom that comes from not clinging to a specific outcome. When we're detached, we can genuinely enjoy the present moment without worrying about what will happen next. This openness creates a welcoming energy. People sense that we're not attached to how they respond, and this lack of pressure makes them feel free to engage in a way that's authentic. Detachment is a powerful form of self-respect. It's a recognition that we're whole as we are, and that we're open to receiving, but not dependent on it for our happiness. Respecting the freedom of others is fundamental to letting them come of their own will. True respect means allowing others to make their own choices without interference or pressure. This respect is magnetic because it's rare. People are often used to feeling judged or pressured in their interactions. When we respect their freedom, they feel safe, knowing they can approach us without fear of judgment or expectation. This creates a foundation of trust and equality in the relationship, allowing for a deeper, more honest connection to form. One of the most empowering aspects of letting others come to us is the realization that we do not need to chase to feel fulfilled. This approach teaches us to focus on ourselves, to cultivate our own joy and purpose, and to trust that the right people will recognize our worth without needing persuasion. When we live in alignment with our true selves, when we honor our own path, we naturally attract people who resonate with us on a deep level. We're no longer seeking external validation because we're content within, and this fulfillment draws people who are similarly grounded and genuine. This way of life is about creating a balance between giving and receiving. It's a reminder that relationships are a dance of mutual respect, where both parties choose each other freely. When we let others come to us, we're not holding back our love or interest, we're simply honoring the natural flow of connection, trusting that genuine relationships don't need force to thrive. We're recognizing that those who are meant to be in our lives will come, and those who aren't will leave, and both are equally valuable lessons. Letting people come of their own will is a powerful affirmation of self-worth. It's a reminder that we're deserving of relationships where we don't have to perform or pretend. By embracing patience, trust, detachment, and respect for others' freedom, we create a magnetic presence that attracts people who appreciate us for who we truly are. This approach brings a sense of calm, a recognition that we don't need to control the world around us to find fulfillment. We are whole, we are enough, and in this wholeness we find the strength to let go, to step back, and to let others come or not as they choose. The ones who do are the ones worth keeping, for they come freely, and in their freedom they honor our own. In conclusion, embracing the philosophy of letting others come to us of their own will is a powerful testament to our self-worth and understanding of authentic connections. By practicing patience, trust, and respect for the freedom of others, we cultivate an environment where genuine relationships can thrive without pressure or manipulation. This approach not only fosters deeper connections, but also reinforces our inner peace and self-assurance, allowing us to engage with the world from a place of strength rather than neediness. Today, let us explore a power often overlooked, a power you carry in every word you speak. It is the power to shape your life, to mold your reality, to fill your world with abundance and light. That power lies in blessing yourself. Words are not mere sounds that fill the air, they are tools of creation, the very breath of life woven into language. When you speak, you set in motion a powerful force that reaches far beyond your immediate awareness. To understand this is to hold the key to transforming your life, for the words you speak are as real as any action you take, and their impact on your reality is profound. Each word you utter has a life of its own, vibrating with energy, taking form in ways that the logical mind cannot always perceive. Think of the spoken word as an invisible architect. Every sentence, every affirmation, every declaration shapes your inner and outer world. When you say, "I am capable," you are planting a seed within yourself, one that begins to grow roots, branching out into every aspect of your life. But if, on the other hand, you say, "I am worthless," you are planting a different kind of seed, one that darkens your inner landscape, reinforcing doubts and fears. Words then are not neutral. They carry a specific energy, either building or eroding the foundation of your life. 2. The subtle effect words have on your mind and body. When you speak positively to yourself, encouraging your spirit with words of kindness and strength, your entire being responds. Your mind becomes calm, your heart opens, and even your body aligns with this positive energy, creating health and vitality. But when you speak in anger, in judgment, in despair, your body contracts, your mind grows unsettled, and your spirit feels burdened. Words are like signals sent directly to the deepest parts of who you are, guiding your physical, mental, and spiritual states. This is why words must be chosen with care. They are powerful tools, capable of building worlds or tearing them down. When you begin to understand this, you no longer speak carelessly or utter phrases that contradict your desires. You begin to treat words as sacred, knowing that every phrase, every sentence is an opportunity to create a new reality. This awareness changes everything. It transforms how you talk to yourself, how you speak to others, and even how you think. Thoughts are silent words, and they, too, carry the same creative force. To think is to speak within, setting in motion the wheels of creation. Imagine how different your life would be if you took a moment before speaking, if you paused to feel the energy of your words. Instead of saying, "I can't," you might say, I am on my way. Instead of saying, I am stuck, you could say, I am learning. These shifts may seem subtle, but they are profound. With every empowering word, you are programming your mind, training it to see possibilities rather than obstacles. And as you speak these words into the world, they become declarations of intent, signals sent into the field of potential, aligning circumstances to fulfill your vision. The power of the spoken word is also power to heal. When you speak love, forgiveness, and acceptance, you mend the parts of yourself that feel broken or wounded. Saying I am worthy to yourself is an act of self-compassion, a balm to the spirit that restores your sense of purpose and dignity. Similarly, when you speak kindness to others, you elevate them, touching their lives with words that heal and uplift. Every kind word, every blessing, is a ripple that spreads outwards, touching lives in ways you may never fully know. You are, in a sense, a healer through your words, offering solace and strength, not just to yourself but to everyone around you. And so, speak consciously. Let your words reflect the life you want to live, the person you want to be. Speak not as though you are casting wishes to the wind, but as though you are declaring truths that are destined to become real. Speak blessings upon yourself, upon your loved ones, upon the world, for these words are the seeds of transformation. They carry within them the potential to reshape lives, to lift spirits, to manifest dreams. You are the creator, and your words are the tools. With every sentence, you shape the essence of your existence. Know this, and let each word be an act of creation, a step toward the reality you desire. When you harness the power of the spoken word, you align with the fundamental creative force of life itself, becoming a co-creator of the beauty, the joy, and the abundance that await you. Self-blessing is a profound act of self-discovery, a journey inward, where you uncover layers of your true self. In blessing yourself, you are not simply affirming your worth or declaring your desires, you are connecting with the core of your being, recognizing the divinity within. This practice shifts your perception, turning your gaze inward to discover parts of yourself that often remain hidden beneath the noise of everyday life and the voices of external expectations. When you bless yourself, you invite a recognition of your own inherent value, a sacred moment in which you acknowledge yourself as worthy of love, success, and fulfillment. This act is a declaration that you are not defined by circumstances or the judgments of others, but by the essence within you that is eternally whole, vibrant, and connected to all that is. In self-blessing, you shed limiting beliefs and discover a version of yourself untouched by doubt or fear. You realize that these blessings are not wishes or hopes, but statements of truth. You affirm that you are already whole, already abundant, already capable. This shift is liberating because it reveals a version of you that transcends societal labels and personal limitations. To bless oneself is to look past the temporary struggles, insecurities, and perceived flaws, and instead to see oneself as one truly is, a powerful being with unlimited potential. This moment of recognition becomes a gateway to understanding and experiencing the deeper layers of your consciousness, where you are not defined by your past or your struggles, but by the purity of your essence. Each time you bless yourself, you affirm your right to exist in peace and joy, unburdened by self-doubt. The act of self-blessing dismantles the mental blocks we place upon ourselves and erases the need for outside validation. When you say, I am enough, or I am worthy of love, you claim an inner power that is beyond the reach of external influences. You discover that you do not need permission from the world to feel whole, to feel complete, to feel abundant. This realization is a profound moment of self-empowerment. In blessing yourself, you are declaring independence from the voices that once held you back, the self-imposed restrictions, and the opinions of others that may have cast shadows on your self-worth. This journey of self-blessing is, in essence, the journey of self-liberation. Furthermore, self-blessing brings you into alignment with your higher self, the part of you that holds the wisdom of the ages, that knows no fear or lack. When you speak blessings upon yourself, you tap into this higher consciousness, bridging the gap between your earthly self and your divine nature. You begin to recognize that you are not just the sum of your actions, but an embodiment of infinite potential. In this state, your words become like keys, unlocking aspects of your soul that yearn to be seen and heard. The more you engage in this practice, the more you access an inner wisdom that reveals truths about who you are, why you are here, and what your soul is meant to achieve. Self-blessing is also a powerful tool for healing. As you bless yourself, you invite peace and love to flow into areas of pain, trauma, and insecurity. You may notice that as you continue to bless yourself, old wounds begin to lose their power over you. Where there was once self-criticism, you find compassion. Where there was insecurity, you find confidence. This process is not about denying the difficulties you faced or pretending that pain doesn't exist. Rather, it is about choosing to see yourself as worthy of healing and as capable of rising above any circumstance. In this sense, self-blessing becomes an act of radical self-acceptance, a declaration that you are complete, even with your scars and imperfections. As you continue this journey of self-discovery, you begin to understand that self-blessing is not a selfish act. It is an act of honoring your soul, respecting the divine within, and nurturing the life you were meant to live. You realize that by affirming your own worth, you create a ripple effect that touches every area of your life. Relationships improve, confidence grows, and you feel more attuned to the flow of life. When you know your own value, you attract experiences and people that resonate with this newfound understanding of yourself. In discovering your worth, you unconsciously inspire others to do the same, becoming a beacon of authenticity and self-love. Self-blessing leads you to a place of gratitude, where you recognize that every part of your journey, every hardship, and every joy has brought you closer to understanding your true self. You see that each blessing you speak upon yourself is a step closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. Self-blessing transforms from an act into a way of being, where every thought, word, and action reflects a deep love and respect for yourself. Self-blessing is a journey of self-discovery that reveals a truth that cannot be taken away by anyone or anything outside of you. It reminds you that the power to create, to love, and to thrive lies within you. This journey teaches you to look within for the answers, to find solace and strength in your own presence, and to live as the truest expression of who you are. In blessing yourself, you uncover a boundless love that was always there, waiting patiently for you to recognize it and embrace it fully. Your worthiness is an act of self-recognition, an acknowledgement of the intrinsic value you hold simply by being alive. It goes beyond external achievements, societal validation, or the approval of others. It is a deep-rooted understanding that you are inherently deserving of love, joy, and fulfillment. When you affirm your worthiness, you move away from the constant seeking of validation outside yourself and turn inward, connecting with a truth that is untouched by the opinions of the world. This act of self-affirmation is transformative because it liberates you from the belief that you must earn your right to exist or that you must prove your value through endless striving. Affirming your worthiness is to remember and embrace the fact that you are enough as you are. The journey toward worthiness often involves unlearning messages that have suggested otherwise. Many people grow up internalizing beliefs that their worth depends on their success, appearance, or how well they meet others' expectations. These beliefs are often reinforced by societal norms, which create a standard that can feel impossible to meet. However, affirming your worthiness is a process of reclaiming your power from these limiting ideas. It is an act of courage, a conscious decision to believe that you are deserving of all good things, not because you have proven yourself, but because you are a unique and valuable part of the world. You are worthy because you exist, and nothing can take that away from you. Your worthiness is not about denying areas of growth or improvement, nor is it about complacency. Instead, it is about realizing that you are worthy of self-love and respect at every stage of your journey, even as you strive to become a better version of yourself. This understanding shifts how you approach life. Rather than chasing accomplishments to validate your worth, you begin to set goals that align with your passions and desires, recognizing that you are already whole and complete. You start to act not from a place of lack or inadequacy, but from a place of abundance and self-trust. In affirming your worth, you cultivate a mindset that fuels growth and confidence, enabling you to pursue your dreams without the need for external validation. The act of affirming worthiness has a powerful impact on your inner dialogue. Self-talk, or the ongoing conversation you have with yourself, becomes a mirror of your self-worth. When you affirm your worth, you replace harsh self-criticism with compassion and acceptance. Instead of telling yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I don't deserve this," you begin to say, "I am capable, I am deserving, and I am enough." This shift in language reprograms your mind, reinforcing positive beliefs about yourself that, over time, become deeply rooted. With each affirmation, you are nurturing a garden of self-worth, allowing it to flourish and grow strong against the negative influences that may arise. Affirming your worthiness also affects how you relate to others. When you believe in your own value, you no longer seek validation through relationships or allow others to define your worth. You begin to set healthier boundaries, knowing that you deserve respect and kindness. This sense of worthiness enables you to show up authentically, free from the need to mold yourself to fit others' expectations. Your relationships become more fulfilling as you attract people who recognize and honor your value, creating a sense of mutual respect and genuine connection. By affirming your worth, you are inviting others to do the same, fostering relationships that are based on true appreciation rather than superficial validation. Another transformative effect of affirming your worthiness is the freedom it brings from the fear of failure. When you are anchored in a belief in your own value, you no longer view failure as a reflection of your worth. Instead, you see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. This mindset shifts how you approach challenges and risks, allowing you to pursue your passions with courage and resilience. You begin to understand that your worth is not diminished by setbacks or mistakes, and you no longer let the fear of failure hold you back. This freedom is a powerful catalyst for growth, empowering you to step into your full potential and create a life that reflects your truest desires. Affirming worthiness is also a foundation for gratitude. When you see yourself as worthy, you start to appreciate the gifts within and around you. You recognize the beauty of life and your own role within it. Gratitude becomes a natural expression of your worthiness, as you acknowledge that you are deserving of the joy, love, and opportunities that come your way. This attitude of gratitude deepens your connection to life, helping you to live in harmony with yourself and others. You begin to see that worthiness is not something you have to chase, it is something you can embrace in every moment, grounding you in a state of peace and contentment. Affirming your worthiness is a return to your authentic self. It is a journey inward, a reawakening to the truth that you are enough. This sense of worth does not come from accomplishments or possessions, it comes from within, from the realization that you are inherently valuable. By affirming your worthiness, you are honoring your existence, celebrating the unique qualities that make you who you are. This practice transforms every aspect of your life, empowering you to live fully, love deeply, and pursue your dreams with confidence. You are worthy, and this truth, when embraced, has the power to illuminate your path and elevate your entire existence. Releasing negativity through blessings is a powerful, transformative practice that shifts your focus from pain and resentment to compassion and acceptance. Blessings act as a gentle yet potent means of letting go, a way to cleanse your spirit and renew your energy. When you choose to bless rather than curse a difficult situation, person, or memory, you turn away from cycles of anger, judgment, and resentment that weigh heavily on the heart. Blessing is an act of liberation, an acknowledgement that you no longer wish to carry burdens that do not serve you. By offering blessings instead of harboring negativity, you invite healing, both within yourself and in your external reality. It is an act of surrender, of giving yourself permission to release what holds you back and to make space for peace. The act of blessing can be simple yet profound. It doesn't require elaborate rituals or the presence of others, it only requires a willing heart. To bless someone or something that has caused you pain is not about denying your experience or pretending it didn't hurt. Rather, it is an acknowledgement that holding on to bitterness only harms you in the end. When you bless, you rise above the hurt and transform it into a stepping stone for your growth. It's a way of saying, I release you, I release this pain, I choose peace over resentment. Each blessing you send out into the world becomes a wave of positive energy that lifts you up, helping you to transcend negativity and see life from a higher perspective. Negativity through blessings begins with yourself. Often we carry self-blame, guilt, and regret for actions we wish we could change. These emotions linger in our minds, weighing us down, making it difficult to move forward. By blessing yourself, you break the cycle of self-judgment and allow healing to flow into your being. You might say, I bless myself for all that I am, and I release myself from the past. This simple statement is a powerful act of self-compassion, a reminder that you are worthy of forgiveness and understanding. As you bless yourself, you begin to see that each mistake, each stumble, was a part of your journey, a lesson meant to guide you, not define you. Self-blessing helps you release the shackles of the past, giving you the freedom to embrace the present with an open heart. Blessing others, especially those who have hurt or wronged you, can feel challenging, even counterintuitive. However, this act is one of the most liberating gifts you can give yourself. When you bless someone who has caused you pain, you are not condoning their actions, you are choosing to free yourself from the chains of resentment. Resentment is a form of attachment, a link that binds you to the person or situation in a way that continually drains your energy. By blessing them, you dissolve that attachment, allowing yourself to move forward without the weight of bitterness. You might silently say, I bless you and I release you from my heart. This blessing transforms your relationship with the past, turning it from a source of pain into a pathway to peace. This practice of blessing as a means to release negativity can also be applied to challenging situations in your life. Whether it's a job loss, a failed relationship, or an unfulfilled dream, blessings allow you to see the hidden gifts in every experience. Rather than focusing on what went wrong or what could have been, you shift your perspective to gratitude and growth. You might say, I bless this situation for all it has taught me, and I release it with peace. This blessing is a way of acknowledging that every experience, no matter how difficult, contributes to your journey and your understanding of yourself. As you release the negative energy tied to the experience, you create space for new opportunities, for healing, and for personal evolution. Through blessing, you cultivate a mindset of compassion and resilience. You begin to see life not as a series of random hardships, but as a meaningful journey where each encounter holds lessons for your soul's growth. Blessing as a practice deepens your empathy, for as you bless others, you recognize the struggles they, too, may face. This compassion extends outward, allowing you to release judgment and connect with a sense of shared humanity. You realize that everyone, in their own way, is seeking peace and happiness, and that your blessings can contribute to that collective healing. Releasing negativity through blessings also changes your relationship with yourself. As you practice this regularly, you'll notice a lightness, a new clarity in your thoughts and emotions. Instead of being weighed down by anger or fear, you feel empowered, rooted in a peace that cannot be shaken by outside forces. You begin to see that your inner state is your choice, that while you may not control every situation, you can always choose how to respond. This awareness transforms your life, giving you the courage to face challenges with grace and the wisdom to let go of what no longer serves you. The practice of blessing as a means to release negativity is a path to inner freedom. By blessing yourself, others, and your experiences, you align with a powerful energy that transcends pain and moves toward healing and wholeness. You realize that by releasing negativity, you are choosing to honor your own well-being, to step into a space of love and peace that radiates outward. Each blessing is a small yet profound act of creation, a declaration that you are ready to live free from the burdens of resentment and anger. In this space, you find true liberation, a freedom that brings you closer to the essence of who you are: peaceful, loving, and infinitely whole. In the feeling of fulfillment is a transformative way of experiencing life, one that allows you to embody your desires as though they are already reality. This mindset is not about ignoring reality, but about aligning your internal state with the outcomes you wish to see in your world. By choosing to feel fulfilled, you shift your energy, outlook, and actions in a way that attracts opportunities and circumstances to match your inner state. Living in fulfillment becomes a powerful way to create a life of joy, abundance, and peace, regardless of what is happening externally. When you live in this feeling, you tap into a sense of inner satisfaction and completeness, a knowing that you are already whole, and that everything you desire is already within reach. This sense of fulfillment comes from a deep trust in the process of life. Rather than feeling anxious or desperate for results, you cultivate a state of contentment that says, I already have what I need. This perspective shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is present. You begin to see your current life as abundant, filled with blessings, and recognize that every moment offers something valuable. When you feel fulfilled, you let go of the need to constantly chase after things or to wait for circumstances to change. Instead, you create a foundation of gratitude and satisfaction, where you feel deeply appreciative of what already is. This state is magnetic. It draws people, opportunities, and experiences to you that match this sense of wholeness and abundance. In the feeling of fulfillment is also a way of shaping your self-image. Often we define ourselves by what we lack or by the things we wish to achieve. But when you choose to feel fulfilled, you step into a version of yourself that is already complete. This changes the way you interact with the world. Instead of seeking validation or approval from others, you feel secure and confident within yourself. You understand that your worth is not defined by external achievements or possessions, but by an inner state of contentment. This self-image radiates a quiet confidence, a sense that you are whole and complete. When you approach life with this feeling, others sense it too, and they respond positively, drawn to the peace and assurance that fulfillment brings. In fulfillment also transforms how you respond to challenges. When you feel fulfilled, you no longer view obstacles as threats to your happiness or self-worth. Instead, you see them as opportunities to learn and grow, knowing that they do not diminish your sense of inner peace. You understand that challenges are a natural part of life and that they too can contribute to your fulfillment if you choose to see them that way. This perspective brings resilience, an ability to face difficulties without losing your balance or sense of self. You know that fulfillment is an internal state, unaffected by temporary setbacks, and this empowers you to move through life with grace and strength. This practice of living in fulfillment also allows you to be more present. When you feel fulfilled, you stop living in a future that may or may not come to pass, and you stop dwelling on the past. You become fully engaged in the here and now, recognizing that this moment is all you truly have. Each moment becomes an opportunity to connect with life, to experience the richness of what is already around you. You savor your experiences more deeply, appreciate the small joys, and find beauty in the ordinary. This presence brings a deep sense of peace and joy, as you realize that fulfillment is not something you need to chase, it is something you can experience in each moment, simply by choosing to be here, now. Living in fulfillment does not mean you stop setting goals or working towards your dreams. It means you approach these aspirations from a place of wholeness rather than lack. Instead of needing a specific outcome to feel satisfied, you feel fulfilled by the journey itself. You understand that every step you take, every effort you make, is already enriching your life. This shifts your focus from the end result to the process, allowing you to find joy and satisfaction in the actions themselves. Your goals become expressions of your inner abundance, ways to expand and share the fulfillment you already feel within. Living in the feeling of fulfillment allows you to create a life of alignment and authenticity. You are no longer driven by external pressures or societal expectations. Instead, you are guided by an inner compass, a sense of peace and contentment that comes from within. This inner fulfillment becomes the foundation of your decisions, your actions, and your relationships. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself or to seek happiness outside of yourself. Instead, you bring fulfillment to every interaction and every endeavor, creating a life that is rich, meaningful, and true to who you are. In this state, you realize that fulfillment is not a destination but a way of being. It is a choice to feel whole, satisfied, and complete in each moment, regardless of external circumstances. This way of living transforms every aspect of your life, filling it with joy, peace, and abundance. Living in the feeling of fulfillment is a practice, a continual return to the truth that everything you need is already within you. By embracing this state, you open yourself to a life that is not only abundant in experiences but rich in meaning, love, and inner peace. Creating your own reality is the powerful, transformative process of shaping your life from the inside out, based on your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. It means understanding that the way you experience life is, to a large extent, a reflection of your inner world. By consciously choosing what you think, feel, and focus on, you hold the ability to influence the life you lead. This practice is not about ignoring external circumstances or avoiding challenges, rather. It's about learning to align your inner state with the life you want to live, becoming a deliberate creator of your own experience. One of the fundamental steps in creating your reality is acknowledging the power of your thoughts. Every thought you entertain shapes your perception of the world and influences the actions you take. When you constantly think in terms of limitations, obstacles, or negativity, you are likely to experience more of the same. Your mind filters reality through your beliefs, giving more weight to evidence that matches your inner narrative and dismissing or minimizing anything that doesn't. By shifting your thoughts toward possibility, abundance, and optimism, you begin to see opportunities where you once saw roadblocks. This mental shift doesn't happen overnight. It requires consistency and patience. But as you practice positive thinking, you start to attract and recognize circumstances that align with this new mindset. Belief is another critical factor in creating your reality. Your beliefs form the foundation of your perceptions and actions. They are the stories you tell yourself about what is possible, what you deserve, and what you're capable of achieving. Limiting beliefs such as "I'm not good enough," "I'll never succeed," or "things never go my way" act as invisible barriers that shape your reality in restrictive ways. To create a reality aligned with your true desires, you must examine and transform these limiting beliefs. Replacing them with empowering beliefs opens new doors and possibilities. When you believe in your potential, you act with confidence, take more risks, and pursue your goals with greater determination. This inner transformation makes it possible to create a reality where your aspirations and dreams become achievable. Emotions play an essential role in the process of reality creation as well. Your emotional state can either support or hinder your ability to manifest the life you want. Emotions are indicators of how aligned you are with your desires and values. For instance, when you feel joy, excitement, or love, you're more open, receptive, and connected to the present moment. In these emotional states, you tend to attract experiences that resonate with this positive energy. Conversely, when you dwell in fear, resentment, or worry, your perception narrows, and you are more likely to see problems than solutions. Learning to cultivate positive emotions, such as gratitude, hope, and peace, can shift your energy and help you create a reality that reflects these feelings. Another essential aspect of creating your reality is the power of visualization. Visualization is the practice of mentally picturing yourself experiencing your desired outcome, feeling the emotions you would feel if it were real. When you visualize consistently, you train your mind to expect that outcome, preparing it to take actions that lead toward that goal. Visualization aligns your subconscious mind with your conscious desires, making it a powerful tool for creating change. The more vividly and frequently you visualize your desired reality, the more your mind begins to believe it as truth, bringing that vision into alignment with your actions. Athletes, artists, and successful people in many fields use visualization to prepare mentally for success, showing that what the mind believes, the body can achieve. Taking action is perhaps the most critical step in the process. Creating your reality is not simply about thinking positively or visualizing your goals. It requires consistent action. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your desired reality. When you take inspired action fueled by excitement, passion, and belief, you move in harmony with your goals. These actions may be outside your comfort zone, but they're essential for transformation. When you combine belief, positive thoughts, and visualization with purposeful action, you align your inner and outer worlds, giving life to the reality you've envisioned. Creating your reality also involves letting go of resistance. Resistance comes in many forms, such as fear, doubt, and attachment to specific outcomes. When you cling too tightly to how things should happen, you create friction that can impede the flow of progress. By trusting the process and allowing flexibility, you open yourself to opportunities that might not align with your original expectations, but are equally beneficial. Practicing detachment doesn't mean giving up on your desires, it means releasing the need to control every detail. This openness allows the universe to work in ways you may not anticipate, often bringing you closer to your vision in surprising and beautiful ways. Gratitude is a vital component in creating your reality. When you practice gratitude, you acknowledge and appreciate what you already have, which attracts more of the same energy into your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, reinforcing the belief that life is filled with good things. This state of appreciation keeps you aligned with positive energy, making it easier to stay on the path to creating a reality that reflects your highest aspirations. Expressing gratitude daily, whether for small things like a sunny day or larger accomplishments, reinforces the mindset that your life is already rich, creating a foundation for future abundance. In creating your reality, you become an active participant in the journey of your life. By aligning your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, visualization, actions, and gratitude, you transform from a passive observer into a deliberate creator. This is not just a process of changing external circumstances, but a profound inner shift toward understanding your own power. Through practice and patience, you learn that the reality you experience is within your control, shaped by your choices and perspectives. In choosing to create consciously, you step into a life of purpose, joy, and fulfillment, a life that is truly your own. At its core, gratitude is an acknowledgement of the goodness in our lives. It is a recognition of the gifts we receive, whether they come from the universe, other people, or even ourselves. When we practice gratitude, we are essentially affirming the positive aspects of our existence. This affirmation acts as a counterbalance to the negativity that can often dominate our thoughts and feelings. In a world that sometimes feels overwhelming or challenging, gratitude serves as a beacon of light, guiding us toward a more positive outlook. It helps us to appreciate the beauty in our lives, no matter how small, and encourages us to celebrate our achievements and the kindness of others. Research has shown that cultivating gratitude can lead to significant improvements in mental health. Individuals who regularly express gratitude report higher levels of happiness and satisfaction in life. They experience fewer symptoms of depression and anxiety, and they are more resilient in the face of adversity. This is because gratitude helps to rewire our brains, shifting our focus away from negativity and fostering a sense of connection with the world around us. By consciously choosing to focus on the good, we create a positive feedback loop that reinforces our sense of well-being. Each act of gratitude builds on the last, creating a momentum that propels us forward. Gratitude also enhances our relationships. When we express appreciation for others, we strengthen our bonds and deepen our connections. A simple thank you can go a long way in fostering goodwill and mutual respect. It shows others that we recognize their efforts and value their contributions to our lives. This acknowledgement can create a ripple effect, inspiring those around us to practice gratitude as well. As we cultivate a culture of gratitude in our relationships, we create an environment where kindness, support, and love can flourish. In this way, gratitude not only enriches our own lives, but also the lives of those we interact with, forming a network of positivity and encouragement. Gratitude serves as a powerful tool for personal growth and self-awareness. When we take the time to reflect on the things we are grateful for, we often uncover deeper insights into our values, priorities, and desires. This practice encourages us to examine our lives more closely and to identify what truly matters to us. It invites us to explore the aspects of our lives that we may take for granted, leading to a greater appreciation for the present moment. In recognizing the blessings that already exist in our lives, we cultivate a mindset that is open to new opportunities and experiences. Living with gratitude also encourages mindfulness. When we actively practice gratitude, we become more attuned to the present moment. We learn to appreciate the beauty of our surroundings, the kindness of others, and the simple joys that often go unnoticed. This mindfulness fosters a sense of presence that can lead to greater peace and contentment. By focusing on the here and now, we free ourselves from the burdens of past regrets and future anxieties. Gratitude grounds us, allowing us to savor life as it unfolds and to find joy in the everyday moments. Gratitude has the potential to transform our challenges into opportunities for growth. Life is full of ups and downs, and it is easy to become overwhelmed by difficulties. However, when we approach these challenges with a mindset of gratitude, we can reframe our experiences. Instead of viewing setbacks as insurmountable obstacles, we can see them as valuable lessons that contribute to our growth. Gratitude helps us to find meaning in our struggles, fostering resilience and adaptability. This shift in perspective allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace and strength, transforming adversity into a source of empowerment. Furthermore, gratitude can enhance our physical health. Studies have indicated that individuals who practice gratitude regularly tend to engage in healthier behaviors, such as exercising more and attending regular medical checkups. This is likely due to the increased sense of well-being that accompanies a grateful mindset. When we feel good emotionally, we are more inclined to take care of ourselves physically. Gratitude encourages us to honor our bodies and to nurture our overall health and wellness. By embracing gratitude as a lifestyle, we create a holistic approach to our well-being that encompasses both mind and body. Gratitude is a powerful blessing that enriches our lives in countless ways. It is an invitation to shift our focus from lack to abundance, from negativity to positivity. By cultivating gratitude, we can enhance our mental and emotional well-being, strengthen our relationships, foster personal growth, and improve our physical health. This practice encourages us to recognize the goodness that exists in our lives, reminding us that we are never truly alone in our journey. As we embrace gratitude as the ultimate blessing, we open ourselves to a life filled with joy, connection, and fulfillment. It is a practice that invites us to celebrate the richness of our experiences and to share that abundance with others. In doing so, we not only transform our own lives but contribute to a greater culture of kindness and appreciation in the world around us. Gratitude then becomes more than just an emotion. It evolves into a way of life, a guiding principle that shapes our reality and illuminates our path. In conclusion, embracing gratitude as the ultimate blessing is a transformative journey that enriches every aspect of our lives. By shifting our focus from what we lack to the abundance that surrounds us, we cultivate a mindset that fosters joy, connection, and resilience. Gratitude empowers us to acknowledge the beauty in both our successes and our challenges, enabling personal growth and deeper relationships. It invites us to be present, to savor the small moments, and to find meaning in our experiences. As we practice gratitude, we not only enhance our own well-being, but also create a ripple effect that positively impacts those around us. Thank you for taking the time to explore the profound power of gratitude with me. May we all continue to recognize and celebrate the blessings in our lives, nurturing a spirit of appreciation that transforms our reality and uplifts our communities. Let us carry this practice forward, sharing our gratitude and inspiring others to do the same. Together we can create a world filled with kindness, connection, and abundant love. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, today I invite you to explore the profound strength found in the act of working hard in silence. In our fast-paced world, where noise often drowns out substance, it's crucial to remember that the most powerful transformations occur within the stillness of our hearts and minds. In the journey of personal growth and manifestation, one of the most profound truths is the significance of inner work. This concept revolves around the idea that true transformation begins not in the external world, but deep within ourselves. When we understand this, we can unlock a reservoir of potential that fuels our dreams and aspirations. The work we do internally is often invisible to the outside world, yet it is this very work that forms the foundation upon which all great achievements are built. At its core, inner work involves self-reflection, self-awareness, and the conscious shaping of our thoughts and beliefs. It is about diving into the depths of our psyche, examining the fears and doubts that reside there, and consciously choosing to replace them with empowering narratives. This process requires courage and honesty. It demands that we confront aspects of ourselves that we might prefer to ignore. Yet in doing so, we pave the way for greater clarity and understanding. When we engage in this inner exploration, we begin to recognize the power of our thoughts. Our beliefs shape our reality, often in ways we are not fully aware of. If we hold on to limiting beliefs, those nagging thoughts that whisper we are not enough, that we will never succeed, or that our dreams are out of reach, we unknowingly create barriers that prevent us from realizing our potential. This is where the real work begins. We must challenge and redefine these beliefs. Visualization is a powerful tool in this inner work. It allows us to create a mental picture of the life we desire. By immersing ourselves in this vision, we not only inspire our subconscious mind, but also align our emotions and actions with our desired outcomes. Visualization is not just daydreaming, it is an active engagement with the universe, an affirmation of our intent to manifest our desires. As we visualize, we start to feel the emotions associated with achieving our goals. This emotional connection is crucial, as it sends powerful signals to our subconscious mind that our desires are not just fantasies but achievable realities. Inner work often leads us to develop a practice of mindfulness and meditation. These practices allow us to quiet the noise of the outside world and turn our focus inward. In silence, we can hear the whispers of our soul, guiding us toward our true purpose. Mindfulness helps us become aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment, creating a safe space for self-exploration. Through meditation, we can cultivate a sense of peace and clarity, enabling us to tap into our intuition and gain insights that guide our actions. As we continue this journey of inner work, we also begin to understand the importance of emotional intelligence. Recognizing and managing our emotions is key to personal development. Emotional intelligence allows us to respond to situations with greater awareness and less reactivity. When we work on understanding our emotional triggers and responses, we can navigate life's challenges with grace and composure. This emotional resilience is a vital aspect of inner work, empowering us to face obstacles without being overwhelmed by them. Another crucial element of inner work is self-compassion. It is easy to fall into the trap of self-criticism, especially when we face setbacks or challenges. However, true growth requires us to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding. When we practice self-compassion, we create an environment where we can learn from our mistakes rather than be paralyzed by them. This nurturing approach fosters resilience, encouraging us to persevere in the face of adversity. Inner work also encompasses the practice of gratitude. Cultivating a sense of gratitude shifts our focus from what is lacking in our lives to what we already have. This shift in perspective is transformative, allowing us to appreciate the present moment and recognize the abundance that surrounds us. When we cultivate gratitude, we align ourselves with a positive energy that attracts more of what we desire into our lives. As we engage in inner work, we inevitably become more aware of our connection to others and the world around us. This heightened awareness fosters empathy and compassion, enriching our relationships. When we work on ourselves, we create a ripple effect that can positively influence those around us. Our transformation inspires others to embark on their journeys of inner work, creating a community of growth and support. The power of inner work lies in its ability to shift our consciousness. As we embark on this journey, we unlock new levels of understanding, awareness, and potential. We become the architects of our lives, shaping our realities from the inside out. The external world may be filled with noise, distractions, and challenges, but it is within the quiet of our minds and hearts that we find the strength to overcome. When we commit to this inner work, we discover that the power to create the life we desire has always resided within us. We learn to trust ourselves, to listen to our intuition, and to act with conviction. Through this transformative process, we not only realize our potential but also contribute to the collective growth of humanity. In the silence of our inner work, we find the strength to rise, to create, and to manifest the lives we were meant to live. Manifesting without fanfare is a profound approach to realizing our desires, one that emphasizes the importance of internal alignment over external validation. In a society that often glorifies loud proclamations of success and public displays of ambition, the quiet, deliberate act of manifesting can be easily overlooked. However, this understated method is not only effective but also deeply transformative, allowing us to cultivate our aspirations from a place of authenticity and inner peace. At the heart of manifesting without fanfare lies the understanding that true creation begins within. This process starts with setting clear intentions which serve as the blueprint for what we wish to bring into our lives. By focusing on our true desires, those that resonate deeply with our inner selves, we establish a powerful foundation for manifestation. It is crucial to distinguish between desires that align with our true essence and those influenced by societal pressures or expectations. This clarity helps us avoid the pitfalls of chasing after superficial goals that ultimately leave us feeling unfulfilled. Once our intentions are set, the next step is to visualize our desired outcomes. Visualization is a powerful tool that allows us to create a mental image of our aspirations as if they have already been realized. This practice does not require grand declarations or public displays. Instead, it can be a quiet, personal ritual, taking a few moments each day to immerse ourselves in the feelings associated with our goals helps us build a strong emotional connection to our desires. When we feel the emotions tied to our aspirations, joy, fulfillment, excitement, we send out powerful signals to the universe that attract our desires toward us. As we engage in this process, it's essential to maintain a sense of detachment from the outcome. This may seem counterintuitive, especially when we are deeply passionate about our goals. However, letting go of the need for immediate results creates space for the universe to work its magic. When we cling too tightly to our desires, we can inadvertently create resistance. Instead of obsessing over how and when our dreams will manifest, we can trust the process and remain open to the possibilities that life presents. This surrender allows for a more organic flow of energy, drawing our goals to us without the pressure of performance. Manifesting without fanfare encourages us to take consistent, inspired action toward our goals. This action does not need to be loud or attention-seeking. Rather, it should come from a place of genuine enthusiasm and commitment. Small, consistent steps taken in the direction of our desires accumulate over time, leading to significant progress. It is essential to remember that manifestation is not solely about waiting for our dreams to come to fruition. It involves actively engaging with our intentions and nurturing them through deliberate actions. As we move forward on our journey of quiet manifestation, we must also cultivate patience. The process of bringing our desires to life can take time, and it is easy to become discouraged if we do not see immediate results. However, patience is a vital component of manifestation. It teaches us to trust the timing of our lives and to appreciate the journey itself. Each step we take, no matter how small, brings us closer to our goals. By embracing patience, we develop resilience and a deeper appreciation for the unfolding of our lives. Another key aspect of manifesting without fanfare is the practice of gratitude. Cultivating a mindset of gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have. When we express gratitude for our current circumstances and the progress we've made, we raise our vibrational frequency, attracting more of what we desire into our lives. Gratitude acts as a magnet for abundance, creating a positive cycle that enhances our manifestation efforts. By acknowledging the blessings in our lives, we align ourselves with the energy of abundance, reinforcing our capacity to attract even more goodness. This approach to manifestation also fosters a sense of humility. Working quietly and diligently on our goals allows us to remain grounded, recognizing that success is not just about personal achievement, but also about the interconnectedness of our experiences. When we manifest without fanfare, we create space for collaboration, support, and shared growth. We realize that our journeys are intertwined with those of others, and we can uplift and inspire one another without the need for public accolades or recognition. Manifesting without fanfare encourages a deeper exploration of our true selves. As we engage in inner work, we discover our authentic desires, free from societal expectations. This authenticity not only enhances our manifestation efforts, but also enriches our lives. We become more aligned with our values, passions, and purpose, leading to a more fulfilling existence. When we are true to ourselves, we attract opportunities and experiences that resonate with our genuine essence. The beauty of manifesting without fanfare lies in its sustainability. Unlike the fleeting nature of external validation, the internal satisfaction-derived manifestation is enduring. It cultivates a deep sense of fulfillment that comes from within, allowing us to navigate life with grace and confidence. When we operate from this place of internal alignment, we become resilient to external pressures and distractions, staying true to our paths and desires. Manifesting without fanfare is a powerful, transformative process that emphasizes the importance of inner alignment, patience, gratitude, and authenticity. By focusing on our true desires and nurturing them quietly, we create a strong foundation for manifestation that resonates deeply with our essence. This approach not only leads to the realization of our aspirations, but also fosters a sense of fulfillment and connectedness that enriches our lives. In a world that often celebrates noise and spectacle, the quiet strength of manifesting in silence serves as a reminder that the most profound transformations often happen away from the spotlight, within the stillness of our hearts. Quiet confidence is a remarkable trait that embodies a sense of assurance and self-belief without the need for loud proclamations or external validation. In a world that often equates confidence with bravado and noise, the essence of quiet confidence is subtle yet powerful. It reflects an inner strength that comes from self-awareness, resilience, and a deep understanding of one's capabilities. This form of confidence is not about boasting or seeking attention. Instead, it is a steady and grounded assurance that emerges from a place of authenticity. At its core, quiet confidence is rooted in self-awareness. Individuals who possess this trait have taken the time to reflect on their strengths, weaknesses, values, and aspirations. They understand who they are and what they stand for, which allows them to navigate life with a sense of clarity and purpose. This self-awareness fosters a profound belief in oneself, creating a solid foundation upon which quiet confidence can flourish. Unlike superficial confidence that may be based on external circumstances or opinions, quiet confidence arises from an inner knowing that transcends the need for validation from others. But one of the key aspects of quiet confidence is its ability to remain composed in challenging situations. Those who embody this trait do not seek to dominate conversations or situations. Rather, they listen actively and engage thoughtfully. This composed demeanor is rooted in the understanding that confidence is not about being the loudest voice in the room, but rather about knowing when to speak up and when to listen. This ability to remain calm and collected, even in the face of adversity, is a hallmark of quiet confidence. It allows individuals to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, fostering a sense of respect and admiration from others. Quiet confidence is often accompanied by humility. While self-assured individuals recognize their worth, they do not feel the need to prove it to others. They understand that true confidence does not require constant validation or accolades. Instead, they find fulfillment in their abilities and accomplishments without the need for external applause. This humility creates a sense of authenticity that draws people in, as it fosters an environment of trust and respect. People are often attracted to those who exude quiet confidence because they radiate a sense of security and reliability. In addition to self-awareness and humility, quiet confidence is closely tied to resilience. Life is filled with challenges and setbacks, and those who possess quiet confidence approach these obstacles with a sense of perseverance. They understand that failure is a natural part of growth and do not let it diminish their self-belief. Instead, they view failures as opportunities for learning and development. This resilient mindset allows them to bounce back from adversity and continue pursuing their goals with determination. Quiet confidence thrives in the face of challenges, as it reinforces the belief that they have the strength and capability to overcome obstacles. The practice of gratitude plays a significant role in cultivating quiet confidence. Those who embody this trait often take the time to appreciate their accomplishments and the progress they have made. By recognizing their journey and acknowledging the small victories along the way, they reinforce their belief in themselves. Gratitude shifts the focus from what is lacking to what is already present, fostering a sense of abundance and contentment. This mindset enhances quiet confidence, as individuals become more aware of their strengths and the value they bring to the table. Quiet confidence also manifests in how individuals interact with others. Instead of seeking validation through comparison or competition, those with quiet confidence uplift and empower those around them. They celebrate the successes of others, recognizing that someone else's achievements do not diminish their own. This collaborative spirit creates an environment where everyone feels valued and appreciated. By fostering connections based on mutual respect and support, quiet confidence cultivates a sense of community and belonging. Furthermore, quiet confidence allows individuals to set healthy boundaries. Those who are secure in themselves understand the importance of prioritizing their needs and well-being. They are not easily swayed by the opinions of others or pressured into situations that do not align with their values. This ability to assert themselves with grace and clarity is a testament to their inner strength. By setting boundaries, they create space for their personal growth and development, reinforcing their quiet confidence in the process. Another essential aspect of quiet confidence is its influence on decision-making. Individuals who embody this trait approach decisions with a calm and thoughtful mindset. They trust their intuition and judgment, relying on their inner compass to guide them. This confidence in their decision-making abilities allows them to take calculated risks and embrace opportunities without being paralyzed by fear or doubt. They understand that uncertainty is a part of life, and they embrace it with courage and poise. Quiet confidence is a journey of self-discovery and growth. It is not about perfection or the absence of self-doubt. Rather, it is about embracing one's imperfections and recognizing that they contribute to the unique tapestry of who we are. As individuals cultivate quiet confidence, they create a positive feedback loop that reinforces their belief in themselves and their capabilities. They inspire others through their authenticity and inner strength, fostering an environment of empowerment and encouragement. Quiet confidence is a powerful and transformative trait that reflects a deep sense of self-awareness, humility, resilience, and gratitude. It allows individuals to navigate life with clarity and purpose, fostering meaningful connections and positive interactions with others. By embracing their true selves and trusting their abilities, those who embody quiet confidence create a lasting impact, inspiring others to cultivate the same inner strength. In a world that often celebrates noise and spectacle, quiet confidence serves as a reminder that the most profound strength lies within, waiting to be nurtured and expressed in our daily lives. Letting results speak is a powerful principle that emphasizes the importance of actions over words. In a world filled with noise and distractions, the true measure of success lies not in grandiose claims or excessive self-promotion, but in the tangible outcomes we produce. This principle encourages individuals to focus on their efforts, allowing the quality of their work to speak for itself. By embracing this mindset, we cultivate a sense of integrity, authenticity, and respect in both personal and professional spheres. The essence of letting results speak begins with a commitment to excellence. When we strive for quality in our work, we naturally create outcomes that reflect our dedication and skills. This pursuit of excellence requires a willingness to invest time and effort into our tasks, ensuring that we produce work that we can genuinely be proud of. By prioritizing the substance of our contributions over the superficiality of appearances, we position ourselves as reliable and trustworthy individuals. One of the key advantages of this approach is that it builds credibility over time. When we consistently deliver high-quality results, we establish a reputation that precedes us. People begin to recognize us for our accomplishments rather than our promises. This credibility becomes a valuable asset in both personal and professional relationships. Colleagues, clients, and friends are more likely to trust and respect those who demonstrate their abilities through tangible results rather than empty assertions. Letting results speak fosters a sense of accountability. When we focus on the outcomes of our actions, we become more mindful of our responsibilities. This awareness encourages us to take ownership of our work, ensuring that we follow through on our commitments. By holding ourselves accountable, we cultivate a sense of discipline that is essential for long-term success. This self-regulation not only benefits our personal growth, but also positively impacts those around us, as they can rely on us to deliver on our promises. In addition to accountability, allowing results to speak cultivates resilience. The journey toward achieving meaningful outcomes often involves challenges and setbacks. However, when we concentrate on the end result, we are less likely to be deterred by temporary obstacles. Instead of getting discouraged by failures or criticisms, we develop a mindset that embraces growth and learning. Each setback becomes an opportunity to analyze our approach, refine our strategies, and emerge stronger. This resilience not only enhances our personal development, but also inspires others to adopt a similar mindset. Furthermore, this principle encourages a focus on intrinsic motivation. When we let results speak, we shift our attention away from external validation and accolades. Instead, we find fulfillment in the satisfaction of knowing that we have put forth our best effort and achieved meaningful outcomes. This internal drive fosters a deeper connection to our work, enabling us to pursue our passions with enthusiasm. When we derive our motivation from the quality of our results, rather than external recognition, we cultivate a sustainable sense of purpose that fuels our endeavors. Letting results speak also promotes a culture of collaboration and teamwork. In environments where individuals prioritize outcomes over self-promotion, collaboration flourishes. Team members become more focused on achieving collective goals rather than competing for individual recognition. This collaborative spirit encourages the sharing of ideas, resources, and expertise, ultimately leading to enhanced creativity and innovation. When everyone is committed to letting their results speak for themselves, the emphasis shifts from personal agendas to the success of the team as a whole. This principle aligns with the idea of leading by example. When leaders embody the practice of letting results speak, they inspire their teams to follow suit. This creates a culture of integrity and accountability, where individuals feel empowered to take ownership of their work. Leaders who prioritize outcomes over rhetoric foster an environment of trust and respect, where team members feel valued for their contributions. This positive dynamic not only enhances productivity, but also nurtures employee engagement and satisfaction. In personal relationships, letting results speak fosters deeper connections. When we prioritize actions over words, we demonstrate our commitment to others through our behaviors. This principle applies to friendships, partnerships, and family dynamics. By consistently showing up for those we care about, we communicate our love and support without needing to articulate it constantly. This authenticity strengthens our relationships, as others recognize our genuine intentions through our actions rather than mere promises. As we embrace the principle of letting results speak, it is essential to remain humble. Acknowledging that our achievements are often the result of collective efforts and support fosters a sense of gratitude and appreciation. By celebrating the contributions of others, we create an inclusive environment that values collaboration and teamwork. This humility not only enhances our relationships, but also reinforces our credibility, as we recognize the interconnectedness of our successes. Letting results speak is a commitment to authenticity, integrity, and accountability. It encourages us to focus on the quality of our contributions rather than the quantity of our words. By prioritizing meaningful outcomes, we cultivate a sense of purpose and fulfillment that resonates deeply within us. This principle empowers us to navigate challenges with resilience and grace, reminding us that our actions hold far more weight than our assertions. The practice of letting results speak is a transformative approach that emphasizes the importance of actions over words. By focusing on excellence, accountability, and intrinsic motivation, we cultivate a sense of integrity that resonates in our personal and professional lives. This principle fosters collaboration, strengthens relationships, and builds credibility, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling and purpose-driven existence. As we embrace the power of our results, we empower ourselves and inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of positive change in the world around us. Isolation can often be perceived as a negative experience, synonymous with loneliness and disconnection. However, it can also be a powerful catalyst for clarity and self-discovery. In a world that is increasingly interconnected through technology and social media, the value of solitude is frequently overlooked. Yet, periods of isolation can provide individuals with the opportunity to step back from the noise of everyday life, reflect on their thoughts and emotions, and gain a deeper understanding of themselves and their aspirations. When we find ourselves in isolation, we are presented with the unique opportunity to listen to our inner voice. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it is all too easy to become distracted by external influences, whether they be the opinions of others, societal expectations, or the constant barrage of information. These distractions can cloud our judgment and make it difficult to discern what we truly want or need. Isolation offers a reprieve from these influences, allowing us to tune into our thoughts and feelings without interruption. This quiet introspection can reveal insights that may have remained hidden in the chaos of our busy lives. One of the most significant benefits of isolation is the space it creates for self-reflection. When we are alone, we can evaluate our experiences, decisions, and emotions with greater objectivity. This reflective process enables us to identify patterns in our behavior, recognize areas for growth, and acknowledge our strengths. It allows us to confront our fears and insecurities in a safe environment, where we can process these feelings without the pressure of external judgment. Through this examination, we often discover new perspectives and solutions to challenges we may have been facing. Isolation can lead to a clearer understanding of our values and priorities. In solitude, we can contemplate what truly matters to us, free from the influence of societal norms or peer pressure. This deeper connection to our values is essential for making decisions that align with our authentic selves. When we understand our core beliefs and desires, we can navigate life with greater confidence and purpose. This clarity empowers us to set meaningful goals and take actions that resonate with our true selves. In addition to fostering self-awareness, isolation can enhance our creativity. Many great artists, writers, and thinkers have found inspiration in solitude. When we remove ourselves from the distractions of the outside world, we create a fertile ground for creative ideas to flourish. The quiet environment allows our minds to wander and explore new concepts without interruption. This uninterrupted thinking can lead to innovative solutions and fresh perspectives that might not have emerged in a more stimulating environment. Furthermore, isolation can help us recharge and rejuvenate. Constant social interaction can be draining, and many individuals need time alone to restore their energy levels. This period of solitude allows us to engage in self-care practices, whether through meditation, reading, or pursuing hobbies that bring us joy. By prioritizing our well-being in isolation, we cultivate a healthier mindset and strengthen our resilience. This renewed energy can enhance our ability to engage with others and contribute meaningfully to our communities when we choose to re-enter the social sphere. It is essential to acknowledge that isolation does not equate to loneliness. While loneliness can stem from a lack of connection with others, isolation can be a chosen state that allows for personal growth and exploration. Embracing solitude can lead to profound self-discovery and empowerment, reminding us that we are complete individuals capable of thriving in our own company. This realization can diminish feelings of dependency on external validation or relationships, fostering a stronger sense of self-worth. In the modern world, where social media often distorts our perception of reality, isolation can serve as a grounding experience. The curated images and highlight reels we encounter online can create unrealistic expectations and comparisons. In isolation, we can step away from these influences and confront our realities without the pressure to conform to societal standards. This disconnection allows us to appreciate our unique journeys and recognize that our worth is not determined by external factors. Isolation can strengthen our decision-making abilities. When we are alone, we can weigh our options and consider the consequences of our choices without the influence of outside opinions. This independence in decision-making fosters confidence in our abilities to navigate life's challenges. By trusting our instincts and judgment, we become more self-reliant, which ultimately leads to greater fulfillment in our lives. It is crucial to strike a balance between solitude and social interaction. While isolation can breed clarity, human connection is also essential for our emotional and psychological well-being. Engaging with others enriches our experiences and can provide valuable insights. However, the key is to find a rhythm that allows for both solitude and connection, creating a harmonious balance that supports our growth and well-being. Isolation can be a powerful tool for fostering clarity and self-discovery. It provides the space for reflection, creativity, and the cultivation of self-awareness. By embracing periods of solitude, we can connect with our true selves, clarify our values, and recharge our spirits. While the modern world may often prioritize constant connectivity, recognizing the value of isolation can lead to a deeper understanding of ourselves and a more fulfilling existence. In this way, isolation can transform from a seemingly negative experience into a profound opportunity for personal growth and empowerment, ultimately enhancing our lives and the connections we share with others. Patience is an art that is often undervalued in a fast-paced world that rewards immediate results and instant gratification. Yet, the ability to remain calm and composed amidst uncertainty is a powerful skill that can lead to deeper understanding, improved relationships, and greater success in our endeavors. Practicing patience is not merely about waiting. It encompasses a profound acceptance of the present moment, coupled with a hopeful outlook for the future. This quality allows individuals to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience, ultimately enriching their experiences. At its core, patience is rooted in the understanding that some things are beyond our control. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances can change in an instant. By accepting this reality, we cultivate a sense of serenity that enables us to respond to situations thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This acceptance does not signify resignation, rather. It empowers us to focus our energies on what we can influence while letting go of the need to control everything. In this way, patience becomes a source of strength, providing us with the mental clarity needed to make informed decisions. Patience encourages us to be present. In a culture that often glorifies busyness and multitasking, it can be easy to lose sight of the here and now. However, when we practice patience, we learn to embrace the moment, allowing ourselves to fully engage in our experiences. This mindfulness fosters a deeper appreciation for life, enabling us to savor the small joys that often go unnoticed. By slowing down and tuning in, we enhance our emotional well-being and enrich our relationships as we become more attuned to the needs and feelings of those around us. In addition to enhancing our present moment awareness, patience can significantly improve our relationships with others. When we are patient, we create space for understanding and empathy. Conflicts and misunderstandings often arise from hasty judgments and a lack of consideration for others' perspectives. By exercising patience, we allow ourselves to listen actively and communicate thoughtfully. This fosters an environment of trust and respect, enabling more meaningful connections. When others feel heard and valued, they are more likely to reciprocate this patience, creating a cycle of understanding that strengthens relationships. Furthermore, patience is essential for personal growth and achievement. Many worthwhile pursuits take time, effort, and perseverance. Whether we are striving for career advancement, personal development, or learning a new skill, the journey often involves setbacks and challenges. Patience allows us to navigate these hurdles without becoming discouraged. It encourages us to view obstacles as opportunities for growth, rather than insurmountable barriers. By maintaining a patient mindset, we can stay committed to our goals, adapting our strategies as needed, and ultimately achieving success. In cultivating patience, it is helpful to develop a growth mindset. This perspective emphasizes that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. When we adopt a growth mindset, we are more likely to view challenges as opportunities to learn and improve rather than as failures. This approach aligns perfectly with patience, as it fosters resilience in the face of adversity. When we understand that progress may be slow, we can remain committed to our goals, knowing that every small step counts toward our ultimate success. Practicing patience also involves embracing the art of waiting. In a world where instant gratification is the norm, waiting can feel uncomfortable and frustrating. However, learning to appreciate the waiting process can lead to profound insights and discoveries. Waiting provides us with the opportunity to reflect, plan, and prepare for the future. It allows us to gather information and resources, ensuring that we are fully equipped to seize opportunities when they arise. This intentional approach to waiting can transform it from a source of anxiety into a period of fruitful preparation. Patience is essential for cultivating self-compassion. We often hold ourselves to high standards, expecting immediate results in our endeavors. When we fall short of these expectations, we may be quick to judge ourselves harshly. However, by practicing patience, we learn to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding. We recognize that growth is a journey that requires time and effort. This self-compassion not only enhances our emotional well-being, but also enables us to approach challenges with a more constructive mindset. Patience can foster creativity and innovation. Many creative processes require time to develop and refine ideas. When we are patient, we allow ourselves the space to explore various possibilities without the pressure of immediate outcomes. This open-mindedness encourages experimentation and risk-taking, leading to breakthroughs that might not have occurred under the constraints of a hurried approach. By cultivating patience, we unlock our creative potential, allowing our ideas to flourish and evolve organically. It is essential to note that patience does not mean passivity or complacency. While we may be patient in our approach, we must also remain proactive in pursuing our goals. Patience is about finding balance, knowing when to take action and when to wait. This dynamic interplay between action and acceptance is crucial for achieving our aspirations while maintaining our well-being. The art of patience is a vital skill that can profoundly impact our lives. It fosters resilience, enhances our relationships, and encourages personal growth. By cultivating a patient mindset, we learn to embrace the present moment, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with grace and clarity. As we practice patience, we also cultivate self-compassion, creativity, and a deeper appreciation for the journey. In a world that often prioritizes speed and immediacy, the ability to be patient becomes a powerful tool for achieving success and fulfillment. By embracing this art, we not only enrich our own lives but also inspire those around us to appreciate the beauty of patience and the wisdom it brings. It is often misunderstood in today's society, where self-promotion and assertiveness are frequently celebrated. However, the reward of humility extends far beyond mere modesty. It is a profound virtue that fosters genuine connections, cultivates personal growth, and ultimately leads to greater fulfillment in life. Embracing humility allows individuals to transcend ego-driven behaviors, promoting a deeper understanding of themselves and others while enhancing their relationships and overall well-being. At its core, humility is about recognizing and accepting our limitations and imperfections. It invites us to acknowledge that we are part of a larger tapestry of existence, where every person has something valuable to contribute. This perspective encourages us to appreciate the strengths and experiences of others, fostering a sense of community and cooperation. When we approach life with humility, we are more likely to listen to others, learn from their insights, and collaborate effectively. This collaborative spirit not only enhances our relationships, but also enriches our understanding of the world around us. One of the most significant rewards of humility is the ability to build authentic connections with others. In a culture that often emphasizes competition and comparison, humility allows us to cultivate genuine relationships based on trust and mutual respect. When we let go of the need to assert our superiority or prove our worth, we create space for vulnerability and openness. This vulnerability fosters deeper connections as we become more willing to share our experiences and emotions with others. In turn, this openness invites others to reciprocate, leading to a rich tapestry of relationships grounded in understanding and compassion. Also paves the way for personal growth and self-improvement. When we embrace our limitations and accept constructive criticism, we create an environment conducive to learning. This mindset encourages us to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats to our self-worth. Instead of shying away from difficult situations, we become more willing to confront our weaknesses and seek out the guidance of others. This proactive approach to personal development fosters resilience and adaptability, essential qualities for navigating life's complexities. Humility allows us to develop empathy and compassion for others. When we recognize our own imperfections, we become more attuned to the struggles of those around us. This heightened awareness fosters a sense of connectedness, as we understand that everyone faces their own challenges and vulnerabilities. By practicing empathy, we can support others in their journeys, offering encouragement and understanding rather than judgment. This compassionate approach not only strengthens our relationships, but also contributes to a more harmonious and supportive community. In addition to enhancing our relationships, humility can lead to greater emotional well-being. When we release the burdens of ego and self-importance, we free ourselves from the constant pressure to perform or compete. This liberation allows us to approach life with a sense of peace and contentment, unencumbered by the weight of comparison or the need for validation. By embracing humility, we cultivate a sense of gratitude for our experiences and the people in our lives. This gratitude enhances our overall sense of well-being, fostering happiness and fulfillment. Furthermore, humility can open doors to new opportunities and experiences. When we approach life with a humble attitude, we become more receptive to learning from others and exploring different perspectives. This openness can lead to unexpected collaborations, innovative ideas, and new avenues for growth. Instead of limiting ourselves to a narrow viewpoint, humility invites us to embrace diversity and broaden our horizons. This willingness to learn and adapt can be a catalyst for personal and professional development, enhancing our capacity to navigate an ever-changing world. Humility is also a powerful antidote to stress and anxiety. The constant striving for perfection and external validation can lead to overwhelming pressure and feelings of inadequacy. However, when we embrace humility, we release the need to prove ourselves or seek approval from others. This shift in mindset allows us to approach challenges with a sense of calm and confidence, knowing that our worth is not determined by our achievements or the opinions of others. By cultivating a humble perspective, we can navigate life's uncertainties with grace and resilience. Humility can foster a sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. When we prioritize the well-being of others and approach life with a spirit of service, we create a deeper connection to our community and the world at large. This sense of purpose can be incredibly fulfilling, as it allows us to contribute to something greater than ourselves. By focusing on the needs of others, we shift our attention away from our own insecurities, fostering a sense of belonging and fulfillment that enriches our lives. The reward of humility is a multifaceted gift that enriches our lives and the lives of those around us. By embracing humility, we cultivate authentic relationships, foster personal growth, and enhance our emotional well-being. This powerful virtue allows us to navigate life with grace and resilience, empowering us to connect deeply with others while remaining grounded in our own experiences. In a world that often prioritizes self-promotion and competition, humility stands as a beacon of hope, reminding us of the strength that lies in vulnerability and the beauty of authentic connection. By choosing humility, we not only transform our own lives, but also contribute to a more compassionate and harmonious world. In conclusion, as we reflect on the themes of humility, patience, and the transformative power of inner work, it becomes clear that these qualities are essential in navigating the complexities of life. Embracing humility allows us to forge genuine connections and fosters personal growth, while patience enables us to appreciate the journey and cultivate resilience. Together, these virtues encourage us to engage deeply with ourselves and others, creating a more compassionate and understanding world. Thank you for taking the time to explore these important ideas with me. May we all strive to embody these principles in our daily lives, fostering both our personal development and the well-being of our communities.